Dooby-doo-doo as I shift the poster around a little bit. Squeedle-a-bob-bow.
It's the IMDb trivia song.
Oh, did Michael Bublé drop by for an episode?
Yeah.
The guy from Q is not in this.
Michael Moriarty?
Yeah. He's not Skeedly Bobby.
Skeedly Bobby Rat.
Are we online?
Squeed up! Yep.
Okay.
He wanted to skeedly bop that rat on the head.
Squeed up, we're online.
All right. And we're recording.
We're recording. Shibbity-bop-bop.
Tweet.
Tweet it.
WB.
Oh, that's a frog.
You're a frog.
Yeah. Got him.
I did. Boom.
Yeah, you got fucking roasted.
Zing. Why do I not have notifications for when BMFcast goes live anymore?
You gotta ring that bell.
I did ring the
Yeah.
You
fucking
gotta
bell.
keep doing it over and
You gotta
over.
fucking smash that bell.
The bell is
No, you
smashed.
smash the like button and you ring that bell.
Whatever.
Or possibly that.
I watched
I'm
like
pretty sure YouTube resets it
Or
every,
perhaps
every
that-
few weeks.
I watched like
that
3
owlbear.
videos today of people reviewing headsets, and each one was just. I couldn't get more than 7 seconds without just the, hey guys, smash the bell and welcome to the thing, and I'm your boy from Smash Gaming, and while you're
They're
Smash
all-
Gaming, smash the bell and like this, and
They're all the same
I was
thing.
like, fuck, just tell me what the headset sounds like. I need a headset for my mixering.
What?
Get that fucking Sony one.
Yeah, get that
man.
Sony one.
Get that Sony one
That-
for my Xbox?
Oh, that mixer.
Oh. Do you want to try borrowing that Astro headset?
Yeah,
I've
That's
got?
the one I've got one that
Oh.
I'm gonna.
I got like a $30 Turtle Beach one. That's
Yeah, I was,
Yeah.
I was going to say, get that HyperX one. That
No,
one's really good.
Let me let you borrow this one that I have,
Okay.
and then see if it works for you. If it works for you.
Okay.
Did you already order it?
No.
But
Oh,
don't you need it for story time?
No, I don't need that headset. No.
Oh,
That headset's garbage. Chuck could borrow it.
No, it's not garbage. It's really nice.
No, I know.
It's just
Is that the ones that Jens?
Yeah.
gifted you? Yeah.
Ah, Jens.
Yeah,
the one that Jens
Yeah,
gave
the
me.
Astro headset.
Christ.
It's the Astro A40.
yeah, that's the one.
It's a great headset.
Oh yeah, it is.
I actually found this one like super chill Australian dude who just reviews headsets, and he was
Oh.
the guy has
Is
like
it-
400
is it?
views, and like didn't do any of that shit, and was actually funny and
seat.
It's it.
So it makes sense that he only has like 20
exactly.
subscribers.
Yes,
Yeah.
everyone else who was just slick car salesman-y as fuck was all just like millions of views. Just, hey guys, don't forget all my Amazon links in the description below will take you to all these
It's just
headsets I'm talking about.
Every fucking YouTube personality is just your morning zoo crew asshole DJ.
Yes.
Every one of them. And it's like, I thought we got past that, but apparently we're right back to
Nope.
it.
Also, they all have $1 million gaming rig. Like
Oh, yeah.
just a
Oh, yeah,
desk
for
with
sure.
8 monitors on it and steering wheels and
From all that sweet
Well,
YouTube
apparently,
money.
like the hourly rate can be up to $10,000 to basically get them to review one of your fucking things.
okay.
So, whatever.
And most of that shit was sent to them for free.
I know.
Yep.
I know. But man, the
Just-
the Australian guy was just totally tits.
Did he have an accent?
He did. But it was subtle.
Oh, totally accent.
Yeah. Not like yours.
Well, you should promote
I
that
didn't know what you
gentleman's
mean.
YouTube channel.
I
at
plan
some
to.
point.
I subscribed.
Okay.
I smashed that subscribe button.
I believe I
Even
got
though
a
he didn't ask
perfect
me to.
Australian
Did you rang
accent.
that bell?
I did all the things.
Well, I do appreciate that everyone didn't tell you how much they loved your channel until you basically said, okay, shutting down the channel.
Usually that's how it works.
Yeah.
Usually, yeah.
So are you really shutting down?
No. You didn't watch
I don't think you ever really said
the
that you're
season
shutting the
wrap-up?
channel down.
Well, I mean, you're wrapping up. You're not doing YouTube anymore. You're going
You,
full straight
you should
Patreon.
watch the new video.
I did watch the new video. You're just going straight Patreon.
No. I mean, they still have to go on YouTube.
Oh,
And they still
For
can go
now.
on YouTube.
He
So
just
they'll
can't monetize any of them.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But there
so
was...
it would only take a total dick to get the video taken completely down, right? Copyright holder?
They can all file claims on it now. I don't give a fuck because
Yeah, because you just give them the money.
Well, if the back end is not, if it's all wrapped around Patreon, can't you just do like Vimeo or something that doesn't give a fuck?
Vimeo actually does give a fuck.
yeah, all those sites do give a fuck. 2, you still want just the rando discovery of
Okay.
having videos on YouTube. So
All right.
yeah.
I'm not trying to tell you how to live your life. I'm just-
YouTube is basically an advertising platform for him now. It's all just like for us.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, yeah, I mean, this is just kind of a bonus for people that like our shit.
The initial problem is that when they first demonetized the channel, something in their system tripped to where if I tried to upload anything, it would give me a like, no, you're breaking copyright, deleted. And I was like, well, that's not even remotely how it's supposed to work. Like, someone should still be able to claim this and they can have the ad revenue. I don't give a shit. And after speaking to like 7 robots, I finally got someone who could understand that for half a second. But
yes,
my God, I'm not even going to say this on live on the internet.
I want to hear it.
No, we want to know,
Mute it.
Chuck.
Mute it. Mute it. I want to hear what he's got to say. Let the man speak, at least to us.
What? I don't know how to mute it easily.
Don't
just go to the.
Just don't.
Chuck, we need to know now. You can't do this to us.
Just say it. What the fuck's going to happen?
Okay. Let me give the biggest. No, I'm not saying this.
What? No, I got to hear it.
I'll go
Fuck.
text it to you. I'm not saying this out loud.
This is
Text
weird.
live
us,
on the
Chuck.
internet. I'm not
Text
saying
us
it.
all.
No, fucking mute.
We won't say it.
Mute it. So
Don't
we
worry.
can.
Nah.
Y'all don't have
This
to
is
look
riveting.
at your phones now.
No, I want to know.
No.
I haven't said it
You
yet.
can't fucking tease this shit and then not text us whatever the fuck you were about to say. We demand answers.
Elders reacted to texts by other elders. A new YouTube video.
Eldest millennial reacts to text
Yeah.
from.
I know you guys like
Youngest
don't basically
Gen
don't
Xer.
watch TV anymore, but all the fucking commercials now are like, we got these people in this place to show them something crazy, and it's like these are real people, not actors.
Oh yeah, like on
Yeah.
every truck commercial.
Yeah,
I saw some
all
of those
them.
trying
and
to watch
it's just
football.
like, God, I feel bad for agencies because they must, or not agencies, but the people paying the agencies who spend so much money to set up this bullshit for nothing.
Yeah, that is the thing you should not say out loud.
I didn't even know.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you're referring to. Okay.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't say that a lot.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for texting us, so we can go. You're a bad person, Chuck. I shouldn't
Yeah.
say- you shouldn't. No.
Yes.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Commercials are lazy now too.
They are.
Oh, they're fucking terrible. Every single commercial is terrible. I hate them.
It's Old Spice's fault.
No,
Wait, what?
no. Old Spice has a good ass commercial.
But they started this weird, like,
Rando.
Tim and Eric bullshit of every commercial has to make 0 sense, and then a talking raisin at the end will vomit out confetti, and hey, it's a commercial for Buick. You know, it's like
But see,
That
that's
sounds
not
like the best commercial.
That's
I
not
would
the
watch that.
problem with commercials. The problem with commercials is that they're terrible.
Well,
No,
they're not
I-
even being written anymore.
I-
They're just like there's one that's it's one of the water filter ones, I think, where they're like, we set up a shop that sells water, and it's like the guy's like, this water contains a amount of lead that's acceptable in California, you know, and they found one person to actually react to things because the commercial only ever has this one guy,
Right.
who's like, cup of lead, who wants a fresh cup of lead? What the hell? And like that's. It's like, wow, you like spent the time to set up this whole shop that has water from different states, and then you got one person to react to it, and that's your commercial.
But it's not even one actual person who's reacting to it. You know that
they
person
finally
is an
paid a
actor.
dude to
Yeah.
come in
Sure.
and do that shit.
it's like how many times did these car companies like do the exploding house where all of a sudden the car is actually
Yeah.
in Hawaii or something, and 99% of the people just went, "Huh, yeah, we're in Hawaii. I live here."
yeah.
Yeah, 0% of the time because that is a setup every single time.
I know, but
And they don't even sell anything. Like
I know,
like,
it's
it's
just
like,
like-
who looks at that and goes, "Oh man,
Yeah.
I gotta get a Chevy."
yeah. It's like when the valet's like, "Here's your Honda Odyssey." It's like, "No, I don't drive a Honda Odyssey." And they're like, "Get in it anyway and look
Yeah.
at it." And it's just like, "Yeah, I don't drive this."
No, where's my real car?
Really?
Yeah,
I'm
no.
calling
Fuck
the
your
police.
commercial. Give me my car.
I'm just being polite now.
We brought your family from Oregon in this Honda Odyssey.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
a reason
they
I don't live in
disowned
Oregon.
me. Yeah, as soon as I came out of the closet, they disowned me. I don't want to see these people.
Yeah, they're horrible people.
Yeah.
I sometimes feel like I'm actually in a setup for one of those commercials. Just like the other day, I was checking out at the grocery store and I bought like 2 or 3 cans of Pringles because
Did
it
they
was a
bring
special.
you a Honda Odyssey?
No, this bag boy was just like started to engage me about other flavors of Pringles and stuff, and I was just like, I do not want to have this conversation.
I don't know if that's like a mandate from managers or something at Publix because like when I buy I'll buy like the cinnamon bun Oreos.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh man, you know all those flavors of Oreos. I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I just got one of
Yeah,
them.
it's
Yeah.
crazy.
And they're always like, did you try the lemon ones? I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, my wife likes them. They're good.
Yeah.
Put the shit in the bag and shut your fucking mouth.
It is. It's one of those like, hey, you need to engage with every customer to improve the experience.
No, it's the worst experience.
My experience at Publix in that situation of being a bagger was that the one Jesus freak kid was the one who was just like, oh my God, have you tried this flavor?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, did you know Ruffles have ridges? You know, it's just like, yeah, dude.
I like the kid that always.
Did you know Ruffles have ridges?
No.
Mister, what's your
Ruffles
name?
have ridges.
I make $9 an hour. I'm not rolling my R's for this shit.
I love the one who's like overly aggressive about wanting to take this out to your car for you.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, look at me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Look at me.
I'm
yeah.
a capable
I'm
man.
like,
to know.
but they're like, you sure? You sure you don't want me? I'm like,
Yeah.
do I
got
look
this.
enfeebled? I could beat your ass right now, kid. Like I could literally beat you to death.
I'll
I'll take my own fucking groceries out. Don't even offer. I don't want to hear it.
From the I probably have the most recent experience, that being like 20 years ago, of being an actual bagger, and you just want to get away from doing that job.
Yeah.
Whatever job you're doing as a bagger, you want to get away from. So
So you want to
like,
be outside?
yeah, it's like,
Be like, no, stay inside, fucker.
yeah. Sir, can I do anything but stand here and get stared at by my weird manager?
Well, because the good thing is once you get outside with the groceries, then you can go cart run, and then you're just wandering the parking lot for 45 minutes. Going, I was getting carts.
yeah. Meanwhile, you're
Sorry.
like bumming a smoke
Yeah.
from Sharon that works in the office.
I saw the strangest truism the other day that somebody said, like, you know, anyone under 40 will spend extra time in line for the self-checkout, whereas anyone over 40 will spend extra time to interact with somebody.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get that. Because I mean, I'm over 40, but still, I'm like, where's that self-checkout lane so I don't have to get asked what kind of flavor Pringles I like.
I know I put it on Twitter the other day, but like now that I only have half an hour for my lunch break, I eat fast food fucking everywhere because that's my only choice. And there's always some 50-year-old guy who wants to strike up a conversation with me in line. He's like, yeah, man, I saw this commercials about Arby's, and I'm really about it. And I'm like, we're not doing this today, Steve.
Are you in?
We're not doing this.
Are you in an Arby's when that happens?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, I was in the Arby's, but he's like, yeah, man, the commercial for that gyro. I was like, I gotta have it, and I'm like,
Great. It's pronounced gyro, motherfucker.
I literally turned to him and said, we're not doing this today, Steve. And then I turned back to look at the menu, and he was just like, what? And I'm like, I don't want to be rude. I just do not want to fucking talk to you. I want to get food, I want to eat food, and then I want to go back to my miserable job, all right?
I was standing outside of a Starbucks ordering something on the mobile app because it's easier interacting with people.
Yep.
Because, I mean, I have a Starbucks, like...
I have not waited in Starbucks in line for like a year now.
Oh, that's what I mean. But, I mean, it's literally across the street, and, you know, we're, like, right next to my place of work.
Yeah.
So every once in a while I go in there, and I'm just sitting outside, like, on a bench, just, like, browsing. I'm like, maybe I'll try something new today. And this guy just walks up, 60, 70-year-old dude, just walks up and strikes up a conversation. I'm just like, do I look? I mean, I'm looking at a cell phone. Like, we are not kindred spirits here.
Yeah.
Like, I may have some gray here, but it's
and-
like technology. I'm using it.
Yep. And also, like I said on Twitter, I know I shouldn't bitch about that because that is literally every day of every woman's life.
Mm-hmm.
But
Oh, sure.
still,
Yeah.
still, like 50-year-old white dude, I don't care what you have to say. Like you had your time. You had 50 years of everyone having to give a shit about what you say. I don't care. Leave me alone.
It's over.
Yeah.
Over, old white dude.
I know this makes me a terrible person, but it was the proudest moment of my human existence on this planet when I was standing in line at the post office and this guy behind me like kind of invades my space to start up small talk, and he actually says, mailing some packages, huh? And I looked him dead in the eye and I said, no English. And just turned back around.
I'm going to remember that one.
And the funny thing is that he was behind me, so that I got up to the counter and I'm just like, hi, how you doing?
Even better.
I was about to say that's the best part of it.
I was
when you can.
That's when you like
When you
fully
can-
enunciate everything you
Yeah,
have.
that's-
Hello, sir. I am here today to mail these parcels across the
that's-
country.
That's
Post
the
haste.
fucking. That is the fucking coup de grace right there. Where you're just like, yep.
But I mean, I didn't even try like some Balky accent or something. I just no English, and then just went back to not looking at. And this was years ago. I didn't have like a phone to look at. This was way before that, and it's just, man, best thing I ever did.
That's what the kids call big dick energy, Chuck.
It's like, proudest moment of my life because it fucking worked. It stunned that man. He went, what?
That is like that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
You have to just like flummox them so they're just like what? No, you were supposed to follow the social construct of being polite to me until then you leave.
And you know what? If someone told that story on Twitter and that was a trending thing,
Oh, everyone's like that didn't happen.
well, no, but it would be me like quote tweeting it and going like, "You're an asshole." You know, the human experience is something that it's that person was just trying to be nice to you. I would be like,
Oh, yeah.
"No, fuck you! How dare you?"
Yeah.
I realize that, and
Not
but it's
everyone
just,
is entitled to my time.
But I'm just
Sorry.
just leave me alone.
Nailed it right on the head.
Yeah.
When I will make myself available if I want to speak, but I just in line somewhere.
There's a social construct that happens. Like if you're standing in line and like something happens and somebody turns and like it's just like approaching a member of the opposite sex for date purposes or potential date purposes. There are cues. There are physical cues of like now is the time where we two strangers may talk to each other. Mm-hmm.
Right.
It's not just like I'm going to start talking and you will listen to me now. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's not.
Yeah,
how
but
this
that's the
works.
thing. Everyone who wants to talk to you in public thinks that you want to receive them talking
Right,
to you,
exactly.
and they have no concept of maybe that person doesn't want to be bothered. It's just I'm gracing you with my conversation. You should entertain me in return.
There are people I think when they see you looking at your phone, they take that as a challenge.
Yeah,
They're like they need to get off their phone.
like you said,
I'm
it's
gonna
like
talk to them.
it's like women wearing headphones.
Yeah.
It's just like they're not really wearing headphones.
Yeah.
Wait, how
They're not playing music.
How exactly would I go about talking to them, Chuck?
You don't.
Huh. Step one. You
Yeah, don't.
don't.
Yeah, I don't.
You don't.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about this rap movie.
All right.
It's 9:30. It's time to party.
I was having a lot of fun with this.
I know,
conversation.
but
Yeah.
I know
I know.
it's 9:30.
There-
Go ahead.
No, there's just like
Yep.
there are times and places for all that shit. Like if I go sit at a bar that has several people sitting there and we're having drinks and like there's a conversation happening between like not a private conversation but like then you can get into that conversation. You can do those things. That's a place where you're allowed to be social. If you're sitting way at the end of the bar by yourself looking at your phone like right up in your face and drinking your drink very close and looking like you've had the worst day ever, don't talk to that person. Like use context clues.
Almost daily, I find myself walking past conversations where someone's talking about a movie or TV show, and they're doing the like that, like who is in the, and I have to make myself like I used to just drive by, like yeah. But
like
I
Peter
don't.
Weller.
I don't. Yeah, I don't even do that anymore. Like I just like they're going to argue and be like, "It's Amy Adams." Bye.
Yeah. I used to help out in those situations, but then they would go, "No, that's not it." And I was just like, "Fuck off!"
Yeah.
Yes, it is. I know what I'm talking
I'm not
about.
hanging around for you to have that realization.
Plus, you can look it up on your phone now.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
There's that too.
Also, I hate self-checkout because I'm tired of the goddamn computer yelling at me.
Okay.
That's
Yeah.
all. I just wanted
Put your
to get
item
that
in the
la-
bag.
Yeah,
I just
like,
expect something to go wrong. That's why I don't use self-checkout.
that's the thing. Yeah, the computer
It
yells
always
at
goes
me.
wrong.
I got
and
to.
then you got to wait for somebody to come fix it.
Yeah, I got to deal
Nah,
with the
fuck
customer
that.
service
Yeah.
person who's.
And they act like, Jesus Christ, you can't even use the self-checkout right.
The
It's
only
like,
time I've ever had a problem with self checkout, and I learned if you have like, let's say you have a box of paper clips that's like really light, and you have something heavy, do the heavy thing first because it will register that, and then
Yeah.
it's just like paper clips. Yeah, that weighs like an ounce, so whatever.
yeah, because
as long as
like, there's nothing in the bag.
yeah, you never start with like the light item.
Yeah.
That's the trick.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Anyway,
Anyway.
we should do a podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Another quick little application.
Let's get spooked.
I'm assuming this one we're not going to go plot synopsis point by point because it's kind of like there's no real reason.
Yeah.
There are two through lines,
Yep.
and the movie makes the mistake of cutting back and forth between them, but we could just tell the two stories.
Yep.
All right.
Oh.
Hey,
hey. Right over there.
Good.
All right.
Bumping into things.
Okay.
All right. I'll go. All right, and welcome to the BMFcast.
Hey, BMFcast.
Episode 439.
Is that the weed number?
No.
No.
We're past that.
So I'm Harlow,
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
and what we do each and every episode of this here BMFcast is we go in and watch ourselves a quote-unquote bad movie, come in here and talk about it for the first half, and then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. They get 1 to 5 Joxes and Robot Jocks.
That's a 5 Jock. Yay.
However, there are bad movies. It's to stay away. They get a negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags, as in giant bags of trash.
Boo.
In which they belong.
Get out.
Sack 'em.
Yep. So, it's it's Halloween, so that means it's
Spooky
month. Ooh. So we started out with a movie that's arguably spooky. I don't know.
It's a monster movie.
Sure.
Is it?
We watched 1983's Of Unknown Origin,
That's the name of the movie.
which is a terrible fucking title for this movie.
It makes you think it's about aliens.
You know what? This movie was not in any way whatsoever what I was expecting from
No.
a title like Of Unknown Origin.
No,
No.
because it's about Peter Weller and a rat. Yeah.
As you do.
Plot summary, because we've always done that. Whatever. I'll read it. A man who recently completed a man who fuck, my mouth is fucked.
No.
Mouth sounds bad.
Yeah, it is.
A man who recently completed renovating a townhouse becomes obsessed with a rat infestation until it becomes an interspecies duel. Yes, this movie is RoboCop versus Rizzo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Infestation is not the right word, though, because that would lead you to believe there are a lot of rats, and there's one
Yes.
singular rat.
One
Singular.
singular rat.
No idea why I did that.
All
I
right.
don't know.
Let's get the
Cast the
cast
alums
stuff out of the way.
Okay.
Director George P. Cosmatos,
Yeah.
BMFcast alum of Cobra
Mhm.
and Leviathan.
Leviathan. Can
Yes.
I take a quick aside?
You can.
Shout Factory releasing Cobra on
Yeah.
Blu-ray February 2019.
Right.
All right.
That's
So
a good thing.
They have a deal with the Cosmatos estate.
Apparently. Writer was Brian Taggart, who did Wanted, Dead or Alive,
Mm-hmm.
a Rucker Howard joint.
It was.
Yes. Peter Weller, of course, of Leviathan, Buckaroo Banzai, Shakedown.
Yeah.
Lawrence Dane of Rolling Vengeance.
Mm-hmm.
Kenneth Welsh of Bailey's Billions. I could not tell you anything about Bailey's Billions.
Neither can I, because I never saw
Yeah,
it.
you were not here for that.
You should have been here.
All I remember is
Is that a monkey movie?
Tim. No, that was
dog.
it was a
John
dog.
Lovitz was a dog.
It was a Dogist movie, and I remember, I believe Jennifer Tilly and Tim Curry got paid by the word.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yep. I
Yeah.
remember that one now.
Yeah. Otherwise, and lastly, Shannon Tweed of Hot Dog the Movie, Meatballs 3, and Steel Justice.
Introducing Shannon.
Yes,
Yes.
her first
Hello, ma'am.
movie appearance.
Yes,
Which
and
we all
also
know.
her first breasts appearance.
Yes. The
Which was the first appearance of almost anything in this movie.
yeah,
Yes.
the time to the triple T ratio.
Pretty good.
Well, was it
Like,
full on?
literally-
Because wasn't it just side boob?
It
I
was
mean, I'm not
side boob.
complaining, but
But
there
it
was
was
nip.
literally like 5
Oh,
seconds
okay.
after the credits ended.
Yeah.
yeah.
Just
They
Shannon
just have
Tweed
to
in the
show
shower.
Shannon Tweed showering.
Yep.
I mean, not the worst thing you could start your movie with.
No.
By
Worse
far.
ways to go.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to see more Shannon Tweed, there's plenty out there.
I've heard. I've seen.
Yeah.
I've seen Hot Dog the movie.
I've binged.
Yep. Yes. Oh, you just bing it.
Yeah.
So.
But yes, Peter Weller is businessman living in New York.
Bart something.
Bart. You can't spell rat without Bart or Bart without rat.
All right, I got to tell you guys something.
Okay.
My dad's name is Bart,
Uh-huh.
so hearing the word Bart a million times in this fucking movie was really annoying, and
How do you make it through The Simpsons?
It's different.
The Simpsons is enjoyable. That's how.
Oh.
Oh!
Zing!
Come on.
Got him!
World Star. Sorry. I mean,
Hell is
you
happening?
you just burned this movie so fiercely.
Yeah.
Smash that like and
Yeah.
subscribe button.
This video just become a fight?
Ring that bell.
Anyway,
But yes. And he works. The beginning of this movie, besides the very first part of this movie, is Peter Weller greeting and rubbing up on Shannon Tweed as she's getting ready to take the kid. I thought there was kids, but I
Nope.
guess there's only one kid.
Just
the one.
and his hamster.
But kids, dumbass. I mean, there's no other way to say
Their
it.
kid's stupid.
Their kid is stupid. Like
Yeah.
he is.
He's stupid.
He's rummaging through cereal boxes trying to get the prize. He's got a pet hamster, and they're going to fuck off to Vermont for a couple days or a week or two or something like that.
It seems like forever.
I think it's for the summer.
yeah.
Is it? Okay. Well,
Yeah.
it's a while, but I think it's only like 2 weeks because basically he's staying behind because he's got to work on something. He goes, so they're gone. They leave him, and
They're gone literally the entire time.
pretty much the entire movie. Which that's fine. It's like he has a family, and he kind of drops that like I built this house from the ground up, or renovated it with my own hands, and blah blah blah. This house, but he goes to work, and right off the bat, I was just kind of like, is this the Phantom Menace of horror movies? Because it is a whole lot of like,
Man.
well, we got these mergers and acquisitions, and we got to go work on pyramid blah 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 blah, and look at the sales figures and blah, and it's just like, wow, you're really going whole hog on this.
Yeah, we really need
dialogue.
to know about this whole
It is so
merger,
much
whatever
early
thing.
80s movie business bullshit of
Yeah.
just here's Megalo Corporation. No one understands what they do. They don't understand what they do. It's all about pushing paper around and making up words, and there's always deadlines. And if you're not getting the deadline fast enough, it's
They're
going
gonna-
to Earl.
Yeah.
Earl
They're gonna
down.
give it to the other guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's-
yes, that's his work life. Is like he's on this project. He's been working on it for some time, and then he gets to work, and it's like, oh yeah, we've given that project away to Peterson or whatever the fuck, and it's like he's mad about that, and they're like, but you're getting this other thing, and he's like, but that's not a thing I know anything about, blah blah blah. But
Because that's also how 80s business work is they take away the thing that you're doing a kick-ass job on, give it to Simpson who doesn't know shit, and then they hand you the thing that you're like, I don't understand this at all, and they're like, you'll knock it out of the park, big guy.
Right.
And it's
but
like,
it's also like
what the fuck is this business?
It's like this background. It's like a stepping stone. Like, oh, this is your chance for the big leagues.
This will show you're great.
But it's like he already seems to be pretty high up. Like everyone's like, oh, sir, he has a secretary and everything.
Yeah.
Everybody had a secretary in the 80s.
Sure.
He seems to be like second in command at this place. Like there's the boss and then like a bunch of underlings, but him also, that all the underlings are like, hey, this guy, you know.
Yeah. The only thing to this sort of 20 minutes of trade negotiations credit is the dialogue is actually kind of snappy. Like,
Sure.
Well,
I guess
they had to get it out quick because they
It's-
realized audiences would not give a fuck about
well,
what they're talking about.
Audiences still don't give a fuck. But it's like, it's snappy, and even though the subject matter is really fucking boring, it's delivered pretty entertaining.
Well, he's making it kind of entertaining because
Right.
like he's
like
being sort of snarky and sort of like showing off how smart he is. Like
mildly coked up Peter Weller.
his like Yale degree or whatever because he's just like blah 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 the charlatans and it's like
well, yeah,
who drops that word
All the grain go.
Yeah.
He goes Dennis Miller on it, kind of like.
But
I'm smarter than everybody else in the room.
It's a little
Good luck on your
confusing.
GED, Oppenheimer.
It's a little confusing in the beginning because he's having this conversation with Shannon Tweed about her father and him thinking about paying for the place. He's like, no, this is our place. And they kind of set it up like I figured her dad was like his boss. But no, that's not the case at all. Her dad's just rich too. And like some Vermont rich asshole or whatever.
Yeah.
And,
He
because
probably
like she puts on some
Well,
fur coat and
I'm
shit.
sure also this is they are self-made couple who were gifted $1 million by her father to buy this house.
Right.
Like they didn't just buy this house and renovate it.
Maybe he's got a good job. Who knows? I don't know. But whatever. It's a lot of information that's not particularly interesting. He's on a different case, so it's like, and he's got a deadline, 2 weeks. Which is why I think like that's why that's the time that they were gone because it's like
Seems like it.
2-week deadline, and
Yeah.
then the end of the movie is them showing back up basically after he's just gotten an extension. So maybe 2.5 weeks, whatever.
Makes
But
sense. Checks out.
it's like
2 weeks in a weekend.
2 weeks, yeah, and like he's got to work on this whole new thing from scratch, and it's very important, and so that's kind of that. And
That's
then,
the business track of this movie.
Right.
Is he's got a thing.
yeah, but
Well, it also gives a reason why he has to continue going into work, and he can't just leave.
Right. He can't just say, I got to take time off. I've got a situation. His boss is like, deal with your situation. Finish this shit that you don't
Yeah.
understand.
because he's taking it home and working at home, and that's when like he's sitting there and hears noise in the kitchen, and come to find out the rat has chewed through like the water line to the dishwasher, so it's like flooded his kitchen. And he doesn't react particularly well to this. He grabs like 4 hand towels out of the drawer and throws them on the floor.
Yeah.
Doesn't go bother there's several points in this movie. It's like, you've built this house from the scratch. You don't know where like your master water cutoff valve is, like,
Or own a fucking mop.
or that too. You know. But anyway, like there's several things like, dude, just turn off your fucking water, because there's several points in this movie. It's like there's just pipes just gushing water everywhere, and he's just standing there like, well, I don't know what this is. Mm-hmm. But so weird repairman dude, I guess, like
Cleve,
who like lives.
He's the super from next door.
Yeah. So is he like a superintendent for an apartment building next door?
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, because like this is like a standard like townhome brick, brownstone type
Yeah.
place in
It's
New York.
sandwiched between like two like
Apartment buildings.
Well, there's a
multiple
row of
dweller-
brownstones, and then to the left there's an apartment building.
Yeah.
That's where Cleve.
But you said this
Or
is
Cleat. I'm sorry.
Cleat. This is the dude. The actor is the dude that his head blows up in Scanners.
Yeah,
it's
in the
that
first
guy.
10 minutes of Scanners.
Yeah.
What you think is the end of Scanners is actually the first 10 minutes of Scanners.
Yeah.
He's that guy.
But yes, it's that guy, and he's just like, well, the first I'm sorry, it's confusing because like he's there and like looking at the dishwasher and like, pipe burst and soap gets in it and blah blah blah. I was, oh, maybe something chewed through. It's like, maybe it's mice, and he's like, I don't have mice, and he's like, I don't know, it's a pretty big pipe, so maybe it's a rat. He's like, I definitely don't have rats. He's like, well, I don't know, you should watch out.
And also, this conversation is this. They talk about exterminators,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "Well, you don't want an exterminator. They're just going to tear your walls apart and do all this other stuff."
He also says exterminators are for little old ladies.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, is this the
He's like-
justification for why he never?
Well,
basically,
he's
not
just
until
like-
very late in the movie does he call an
He
exterminator.
kind of challenges his manhood. He's like, dude, man up and get some fucking traps.
Well,
It's
he
like,
says, I've got some traps. And he's like, trap schmaps. Those aren't going to do anything. You need, like, war. He's
no,
like,
at first he's just like, yeah, use the traps. It's going to be messy, but use your traps. Because the first time he goes out and it's the classic wooden base, rat trap thing, and he put, carving out the little pieces of cheese and all that. And sets-
giant pieces of cheese.
well, whatever.
He contributed to this rat's growth rate.
But he does all that, and it's like, okay, I'm going to
Don't
catch the
fat
rats.
shame the rat.
And he, he comes back one day and like they're still just all sitting there, like nothing's been touched. He's like, oh, that's weird. And then the next day he comes and they're like, he finds one that's just like mangled, like the rat was just like broke out of it, like Superman in chains. And and it's just like, he's like, holy fuck. So he takes it back to Cleet and he's like, look what this fucking rat did. And he's like, well, where'd you get those rat traps from? Your grandma? Like those are antiques. You need like real traps.
Yeah, you fucking pussy.
Yeah. And so like, I guess Cleet gave him his homemade traps because
Cleet did build a better mousetrap.
he's got these like fucking, I called them the jaws of death.
yeah, they're
like,
fucking bear trap.
yeah, it's a bear trap
Mouse
of a,
trap.
They look like the things from the assembly line in Ice Pirates where they're going to
Oh,
get
yeah,
their dicks cut off.
but he like gives him those and like several varieties too. Like it's like several things like this. Like he gives him several traps and so he's like, all right, upgraded the traps.
And they got big like medieval chains on them that you're just supposed to fling them behind a counter and pull them out.
But they are like mini bear traps because you do that for a bear trap
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, you're supposed to like anchor it to something so
Right.
that when it gets caught in the trap, it can't run away.
Right.
Yeah.
Take the trap with it. Anyway, so it's a bunch. I mean, again, we're not going to try to beat for beat this, but it's a bunch of like him checking the traps and then sort of seeing the rat out of the corner of his eye, and then like almost sort of catching it, almost like
And-
because eventually he moves up to poison. The kind of rat poison that it's like it makes them super thirsty. So the guy, there's a different weirdo.
He goes to like an Army Navy
Yeah,
store.
there's basically Cleet and there's this like Army Navy / exterminator
'cause
store.
what he did was he tried to call an exterminator from the phone book, and they didn't call him back. So we went to this Army Navy store guy and complained to him, and that guy was like, "Yeah, exterminators, they're all super busy. Anyway, this is where they come to buy their
Yeah.
shit."
Well, this is also where he hype mans the
Yeah,
rat.
I was gonna say Cleet and this guy are like the rat hype men.
Oh, yeah.
because
And it's the entire second act.
it's weird because like this guy, if this is Army Navy store, he's also got like rat anatomy posters and shit on the wall. It's really weird, but he explains to do two different kinds of rat poison. One is like going to basically make them explode, or melt essentially, their guts, and the other one is the kind where it's like they get super thirsty. You close your, make sure you don't have any water in your house, and they go outside, drink till they die, basically, which is what most modern rat poison is. I think we pretty much did away from the melty gut kind of rat poison.
yeah,
Oh, we still use
Yeah.
the melty gut.
Do
kind
we?
of rat poison,
Okay.
Yeah.
if you get like shitty exterminator.
Okay, but so he's no kids or pets at home, so he's just like whatever, putting rat powder everywhere. Comes back and it's like rats didn't touch shit one day. Next day he's like, I put even more out, and then he gets up to piss in the middle of the night, lifts up the lid on the toilet seat, which he's like taped down, and the rat's in there and almost like tries to bite his dick.
Yeah, and this is the first time that he's seen the rat.
Right.
We have seen through footage, basically, you see it kind of creeping around. And I mean, these are shots like extreme close ups of wet, nasty rats.
Yeah, slimy rats. Now, see, when the movie first started, you were just seeing like weird hand puppet shadows on the wall of something large, and you're like, wow, that's a large rat. But like this movie, you think it might be the kind of thing where it's like maybe there's not a rat, like maybe he, maybe
Yeah,
he's
it
just
is
going
very-
crazy. But they very obviously like so when it jumps out of the toilet and scares him. You're like, well, maybe that really didn't actually happen. But then they show a shot of the rat crawling through the pipes out of the toilet to get out of there. And you're like, oh, well, he didn't imagine that. That obviously clearly happened. So right away, the movie is just like, no, it's a rat. He's got a giant rat in his house, and that's a problem.
Say giant. I mean, it's not like a capybara or whatever. It's like for a
Capybara.
Capybara. Sorry. Yeah. I would actually watch that movie.
Yes, a fighting rat.
No, let's instead of like Happy Feet with penguins, we'll have
Yeah.
capybaras.
Isn't that just
I'm
Warriors
into
of Fate or whatever that movie is?
Warriors of Virtue.
Yeah, that.
They were kangaroos.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Yeah,
What?
they basically used leftover tank girl makeup and
Oh,
made that
okay.
movie. Yeah.
All right.
Anyway, why do I remember that? I don't know.
No.
But
It's the size of a common house cat.
yeah, I mean, it is a large rat, but it's still just a fucking like river
Yeah, it's
rat,
not a dude
you
in
know?
a suit.
No,
I mean,
and I mean, like, with a title like this, it's like, oh, it's a fucking alien, demon, whatever sort of rat.
Yeah.
No, it's just an abnormally large rat that's kind of
Yeah.
aggressive.
And
like,
the title actually comes from when he's looking up information about rats at the library.
yeah, because he
And-
takes a lunch break and goes to the library and just, goes to the rat section and gets every possible piece of media he can find.
Taking like a 4-hour lunch break.
Yeah.
including they've got like 8x10 glossies of like rat bite victims.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of various like, oh, okay, this person got like a scratch on their face. The next person like, oh, it bit its nose off. This person bit half its ear off, and then there's like a child's like nose is half
Yeah.
missing, and he's just like,
And he watches a rat snuff film.
yeah,
He's
oh
like,
yeah.
oh, rats will just fucking eat each other if they,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
and they're each other's babies or their own babies or whatever, and he just flips it off like, ugh, disgusted.
throws his headphones down. Dear God.
Yeah.
But it's like, it's not long after that there's this business meeting with the investors or whoever the fuck, and he's just zoned out, and he just goes into just like, let me tell you everything about rats.
Well, because it's basically the guys, it's the pyramid guys,
Yeah.
which were the project he was working on, but they're like, you still need to go make an appearance because you did all the groundwork for this. So yeah, Big Boss Man is like, yes, he still lets me play win at
Big
tennis.
Boss Man's
He's just like doing
to hard time.
doing typical, like boss kind of small talk, and then he's just like, your grain. Rats destroy like 1/3 of the world's grain population every year. It's like that's 5 billion tons of it. Think how many people that would feed. And also, rats do this, and he just goes on this whole like history of
goes
like,
through the plague and
Yeah.
just
it's
all
like
of it.
1 out of 3 people died in the plague.
It's like
and the
2 of
entire
you
Earth.
at this table right now are actually comprised of rats.
You're actually just like a
He's like, some countries actually,
King rat.
they're called slimy chickens or whatever.
Stringy chicken.
Stringy chicken.
That they
as
eat
they're
rats.
eating their little.
That is the only choice they have.
oh,
is
they're
to
eating
eat their
pheasants
rats.
or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, like little tiny
Oh
quail
yeah,
or
the
something.
boiled goose or something.
Boiled goose. But yes,
So, yeah, he is full tilt crazy at this point. He's like, he's read everything about rats, and he's like, I got a rat in my house that tried to bite my dick, and everyone I talk to about these rats is full on hype manning these things because he's like, hey, this rat tried to bite my dick, and Cleet's like, yeah, that's what they do. They go for the soft, the cushy parts. They
Yep.
they just come straight for you. Like, they'll go through your eyes, man. They'll just bore through your skull. And Peter
He
Weller
could
says,
eat your brain.
yeah, and he's like, I'll just get contacts then.
That's the thing is like his weird little quips kind of save most of this kind of like otherwise weird dialogue. But like he from going to the library to like his first interaction with the rat, he goes from like beginning sort of like you think everything's normal American Psycho to the end of American Psycho in like a span of a day.
Yeah.
Like he is just normal businessman, and then it's like fucking I am rat obsessed at this point.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Well, because every night the thing's fucking with him.
it is.
It's not just it's specifically fucking with him. Like every night it's specifically doing something else to fuck with him. And like he'll just be sitting there reading a book and it's scurrying around in the ceiling. He's like, I'm onto you, and then he just gets up and starts beating the ceiling with his book.
Which
Moby
is Moby
Dick.
Dick. Yeah.
He's also watching The Old Man in the Sea on TV at one point. It's just like this movie is like, wow. I wonder,
Yeah.
could we be more obvious? Plus, as like we were 20 minutes in, and Chuck's like, this is symbology for the rat race that he's part of, and we're like, yes, but also fuck you. Like,
But that's
I
very
know.
much what they're doing.
I know.
Yeah, but this rat also has like superpowers.
It
does.
Like this rat can open and close doors. It's like
It's got kind of Jason powers.
yeah, it's able to sneak in and like take the phone off the hook as soon as he's fallen asleep. It
Yeah.
knocks the phone off to wake him up. It's just all
It pulls the covers off.
It's
Yeah,
just a strong rat. Maybe he doesn't have powers. He's just strong and my friend and real.
yeah, but it's so specifically fucking with him that I was still like, is this all in his head?
Is it all in his head, or what's going to be the thing that he did that pissed off this rat? Like what?
Like it is a demonic force, like coming to punish him for
Well,
something.
or just did by renovating this house, did they cut off some sort of? Did they separate the male and the female rat, or
The
just-
only thing he does is he finds the baby rats and picks up the box full of baby rats.
yeah, and
But he doesn't do anything to
No.
it before getting attacked.
He
by
gets
the rat.
attacked and spills the box down the sewer grate, and that super pisses off the rat. But the rat was super pissed to begin with, so
It did try to bite him in the dick first, and then
Yeah.
like he,
so
starts-
he he flung its babies down the sewer, which they're going to be fine.
yeah, they will.
Yeah,
They've
they're
already
rats.
established that they're fine.
Yeah.
That's pretty much like sending them home.
Yeah,
But yeah, the whole rest of the movie is like him placing traps, and
He gets a cat at one point.
he does. He finds a stray cat.
That goes poorly.
it does.
it goes bad. Yeah.
Yeah. He fed that rat a stray cat.
He does like this 2-minute monologue walking around with a cat trying to feed it various things,
Yeah.
like, and just naming whatever he sees in front of him.
Want some cucumber.
Because like at one point in a scene before, the rat had chewed through a bottle of ketchup, so it looks like there's blood coming out of this cabinet, which he flings open. And so in the next scene, the blood is dried up on the counter. He's like, "You want some dried ketchup? No? All right. Well, here's some oysters from 2 months ago. Eat these." Yeah. But like he goes into the pantry at one point to get a box of something and just notices that every box has been chewed through and pulls each one out individually, and just flour and cereal and oats are flying all over the place.
He just gets disgraced and like just melts in while like oatmeal's pouring on his
Yeah.
like dried oatmeal's pouring on his head.
We get a really nice shot, like pulling back from his face with the oatmeal just pouring and pouring and pouring and pouring and
Yeah.
pouring and pouring and pouring on his head.
Yeah. Okay, so I want
But-
to well, hang
I was
on.
going to say we can speed through the rest of this.
Well, yeah, but let me just lump together the 3 scenes with the secretary who comes to the house. So there's a scene where they're coming home from the office in a taxi, and he's like, "All right, smell you later," and she's like, "No, wait, the Pentagon files or whatever," and he's like, "Oh right, get in here." So she comes in. And she's like, "Wow, this is a great house. It must be nice to have money, and look at all your nice things, and your wife's
wife must
awesome."
love it.
And he's like, "Yeah, I got a kid too. He's pretty great." And then he's like, "You know what? We should make out." And he just starts making out with her, and you're like, "This was sudden. Like, I know you're starting to lose your mind, but this is
Yeah, this was not like it had been set up that
yeah."
No.
She,
they
I mean,
had
she,
anything between the two of them.
she was very clearly like, "I'm gonna come in and we're gonna do it because it's the '80s." But so like as soon as he starts making out with her, the rat starts scurrying around in the ceiling, and he's like, "All right, you need to go." So you thought that the rat was going to attack her then, but no, she leaves. She comes back later to
Yeah, she goes in his office and gets his house keys out of his desk.
because he hasn't shown up. Like hadn't called in.
Yeah.
Oh no, he'd called in because like had he gone to at that point? I think he had. I think he'd gone and saw the boss and said like, "I got personal issues. I'm dealing with this."
Yeah, he shows up like disheveled and
Yeah.
wearing fucking
Yeah.
sweatpants and,
And
shit.
like the boss, I love. I just love like the bookends of the boss talking to him is like he's just like wearing jeans and a bomber jacket or whatever. It's sitting on like the security desk
Yeah.
of this fancy ass office, and the boss goes like, "Don't let the other employees see you like this." And then he's just like, "I got personal stuff. If you got to take me off this case, fine. Like give it to somebody else. That's up to you. But if you still believe in me, I'll be here after I deal with this." And then like the boss doesn't say anything. He just goes like, "Don't let the other employees see you like this," and just walks
Yeah.
off. He just says the same thing twice. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Mind,
so-
he is also wearing like soccer or football cleats or something at this point.
Yeah,
maybe,
yes,
yeah.
yeah, because he started to protect various body parts because he keeps getting attacked by the goddamn rat. So the second time she comes over and lets herself in, and he's gone like full Kurtz at this point. He's crazy, and he's put on like a mugger's outfit. He's got like a black stocking cap, and he's wearing all black.
he's carrying his bat everywhere.
Yeah,
with
and
him.
he's just hiding around the house. So she takes off her shoes and is just kind of sauntering through the house like, "I wish I lived here." And there's a shot where she walks by one of the traps in a hallway, both feet, and you're watching this, and you're like, oh, fuck, she's going to step on that thing, and doesn't. And then you also think, well, when she turns around to leave, she's going to step on that thing. She doesn't then either. This movie does a lot of, what about this? And then it's like, forget that.
Yeah, we're not actually doing that.
Yeah. So, like, basically, the rat never fucks with this lady. Like, they've created this ancillary character
The
who...
rat never interacts with anyone but Peter Weller.
Yeah.
Right.
Which,
and,
again...
and the cat.
Yes. Does kill the cat. But still...
But we don't see it kill the cat.
No.
We see the aftermath of the cat.
Oh, so maybe the cat just like he was like, I'm tired of being a hobo, and I'm going to end it up on top of this refrigerator.
I'm saying
Oh, that maybe Peter Weller killed the cat.
that maybe everything is Peter Weller.
Maybe.
Curiosity killed the cat. I think.
But the movie never does any kind of... No, Peter Weller, you're wrong.
No, it doesn't.
This couldn't possibly be the thing. And there's never anyone telling him, you're crazy, Peter Weller.
Yeah.
This isn't going on. So that seems like a weird track to take.
I don't know if he'd actually like full on semi quit with the boss yet when she came over that night, because I want to say like when he did the disheveled like show up at work thing, he immediately went home and started making the Negan bat.
Yes.
Because like he goes.
Well, no, the Negan bat was after that, but because like she comes back again because she's like yelling at the window because they've given him like a 2-week delay to get his shit
The
together.
Chicago
that's
people
right.
aren't going to show up.
That's
Yeah.
right. She's like, like, yeah. And then
And-
you have a 2
and
week
then
delay,
Cleet-
and he's just like, leave me alone.
Yeah, and Cleet tells her,
Leave us alone.
Yeah.
leave us alone.
Cleet's like, you need to leave, and then Cleet sneaks into his house when he's making
Yeah,
the Negan
because he's
bat.
like, doing the nails in it, and then eventually he's like bolting parts of the rat trap on either side, so it's got claws on either side.
Yeah,
of it.
because at this point he has snapped one of them on his own hand. Mm-hmm. Because for some reason he has a full-scale model, not full-scale, but a model of his house.
2-scale.
Yeah, yes. I mean, it is a straight-up model of his house.
It's a dollhouse of his house.
Yeah, in the basement.
And he puts a trap in there.
Yeah.
Symbolic,
But then, for
again.
some reason, is deciding to either find the trap or find something else in there.
No, he's
looking for the
he's
trap.
put the trap in one specific spot. It's not there, and he starts panicking, like, where is it? And I'm like, dude, no. And he's blindly just reaching in there, and it snaps on his hand, and he actually reacts not like how you would think a movie character would, but how you would, which is just like, ow!
also, how do I get my hand out of here?
Yeah.
Because I reached through the tiny window of this house.
Yeah, he doesn't go into like movie panic until he gets it off his hand, and then he's just like, which then he takes a 12-hour bath with alcohol.
He takes
Well, no,
a,
no,
he
I
takes
mean,
a Scotch bath.
It was
Yeah.
water. Alcohol was inside of
Yeah.
him.
Right, yes. And he has a dream where his wife and kid come home. His wife comes home and immediately is just like, I'll make it all better. Let's have the sex, because it's Shannon
No,
Tweed.
the first dream was was it now? Because he has
That was-
he has two dream sequences.
That was before.
That wasn't even a dream. He was awake. He was just like
He just
hallucinating out.
stroked out. He was
Yeah.
he's drinking and then just kind of goes cross-eyed, and the camera just goes off diagonally up to where the kitchen is, and it projects like this. At first you think it's a memory
right.
of a birthday for the kid, and then the rat jumps out of the cake and attacks
And everybody horrified screams, and then he cuts away. It's like, no, not on my watch.
Right.
And because I think that was after a conversation where like he called his wife and was like, "You should come home. I need you."
I need you.
Yeah, and then like I think he had that dream sequence. It was like, no, she can't. I can't introduce her to this killer rat thing.
Yeah,
Like
that was when he walked out of his office after telling his boss, "Forget it, man, it's Chinatown," and goes to the phone booth and just leaves a message, "Please come home," and then just doesn't even hang up the phone, just kind of just tosses it behind him and wanders out into traffic.
But yes, the second dream was like Shannon Tweed
Right.
comes home.
But the best part of it is, like, I understand him having this hallucination that Shannon Tweed comes home and makes it all better by having the sex with him. But intercut with that is his idiot child making a bowl of cereal with the rat poison that's in the kitchen.
Not even cereal. Like he starts with half and half, specifically half and half. Pours that in the bowl first, which I was like, is that for the dead cat? And then he's like, I don't know, maybe I'll put some flour in it, and then
Sugar.
sugar,
It's yeah.
it's sugar, and then like he goes for the rat poison, and then like stirs it up, and
Both
is like,
kinds of rat
and he
poison.
stirs it with the sugar scoop.
Yeah.
No, he
It's-
stirs
it's
it with the rat poison
It's
scoop,
the rat
Oh,
poison
rat
scoop.
poison scoop? Okay.
Yeah. And
which
then
may
just
have been a sugar spoon or
Yeah.
sugar
Yeah.
scoop, but it's now a rat poison
and then
scoop.
just starts drinking the bowl.
Yep.
And you're like, what the fuck is with
It's-
this kid? But
and he-
then the dream ends because the rat explodes out of the ceiling and attacks Shannon Tweed's
yeah,
back.
jumps on her back. Yeah,
And then he wakes
while
up
still
in the
in the
tub.
sexy dream.
Yeah, and he wakes
Yeah.
up like, oh, what?
Yeah,
I'm
he wakes up
sitting
in the Scotch tub.
Yeah.
and then
just
immediately gets
well, because
attacked.
the rat was like hanging out on the shower curtain, waiting for him to wake up.
Yeah.
because as soon as he
Finish
wakes up,
your
it
dream.
like jumps in the water with him, and he's like, doing the Big Lebowski, like and then gets out and shuts the door behind him. It's a nice marmot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's
Okay, so the other thing, so like when Cleet was hype manning this rat, he was doing a thing like, look, I was in the war, and then he makes up some place where a nuke went off and just says, radiation is the only thing, it doesn't even kill the rats.
he's like, it killed all the reptiles, all the insects, all
the
people,
amoeba.
even the amoeba, but the
Yeah.
rats survived.
So he's hype manning this entire time, talking just the biggest game, just I'm the toughest man ever. So the third time the secretary's there and she gets chased away, he sneaks in through some door that's unlocked, the basement door, to get into his house.
Yeah, this house is palatial because it's got
Yeah.
like a first floor with like all the family room and stuff like that, and upstairs with all the bedrooms, and then like a full furnished basement plus like a boiler room, which is like also kind of semi-furnished.
He also says there's a third floor that they haven't done anything with, where the
Okay.
cockroaches are having birthday parties.
Right, yeah, he said it's
but we
very
never see that
Edgar
room.
Allan Poe-esque.
Yeah. So anyway, Cleet comes in while he's making his Negan bat, and
This
Peter
is the
Weller.
best part.
Peter Weller is testing it out on the workbench, just beating it to hell. And Peter Weller turns to leave.
It's like two solid swipes. I
Yeah.
mean, it's not like a full on like I'm gone crazy.
Right.
But Cleet
He's
like
just
Cleet is
testing
just
it.
he's like come in and just kind of stood at the side of the stairs.
Yeah. And Peter Weller turns and sees him. Now, I thought horror movies tell me that he's going to get whacked in the head with this thing because he's going to startle crazy Peter Weller. But no, Peter Weller just turns and is like, oh,
Oh, he smiles at him. He's like,
hey, you're in my house.
what do you think? And Cleet's reaction is so good because he just kind of looks at him and he goes, nah.
Nah.
And then turns around and walks up the stairs.
Yeah. Just,
Is that the last time we see him?
yes.
It is,
Yep.
yeah.
Yes.
Like his
His whole thing's just
Nah.
like, I'm out.
no,
No.
no. It's not even like a full on no. It's just kind of like a nah.
Yeah.
nah.
But like
Smartest
the
decision anyone makes in this movie.
yeah. So like the rest of this, the rat has like tried to eat him while he's in bed. So he concocts a hammock to suspend himself over his bed.
Yep.
But then
Well,
the
that-
rat foils that by chewing through the ceiling.
So he came straight out of the bathtub and into the hammock.
Yeah.
So the rat had actually like done the crawl through the sheets thing, and he missed him because he had the bat
Right.
he was like sleeping with the bat in his hand at this
Yeah.
point. But like he beats the fuck out of his bed, and then he's taunting him like, "I hit you!
I hit you.
You know I hit you!
Yeah.
Don't even say I didn't hit you!"
Like, you're dead. I killed you.
And then like, but yes, he immediately wakes up out of the rat in the tub thing and jumps in the hammock and sleeps there for a little while. So that's the other thing is like they've just portrayed him like he is up all night obsessing about this rat at this point because
Yeah.
and that was also like a byproduct of something Cleet said. He's like, you may spend like 10% of your day thinking about how to kill that rat. That thing's spending 100% of its day thinking about how to kill you.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna chew through your
So, yes,
spine.
he's
but
like-
it's funny. So like he's sleeping in the hammock, and the thing is clearly like burrowing out of the ceiling, and you're like, oh shit, what's gonna happen? It just does it to stare. He just watches him sleep. He's Twilights him. It's just like, I'm watching you, because he wakes up and is like he's covered in ceiling, and he looks up and is like, what? And then this is when he just starts smacking the fuck out of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But eventually, yeah, when he finishes the Negan bat, he basically like runs around the house, or he's like, first he's just sitting there like very quietly, like like bug-eyed, like listening for rat sounds.
Yeah.
And then
He's also armored up. He's put on like shin guards, and
Yeah.
he's got whatever he can find that's going to protect him. Because
it's like part
Sleeveless
hockey,
leather jacket,
Yeah.
which is red, by the way.
It's like part hockey gear, part football gear, part almost like
it's
lacrosse
just whatever
shit.
crap you have
Yeah.
in your house.
I mean, I'm saying
also
there-
this is Canada.
There are like arm guards that you wouldn't have in like either of these sports. He's just got a hodgepodge of
it's just stuff.
of sporting gear on.
Yeah.
But like he's just like crouched down like, Batman style listening for sounds, and then the rat knocks over like a flower pot in the basement. And he runs down there and just like kind of giggles like clever girl.
Yeah, he's just like, well, you won this round. I'm
Yeah.
like, what?
But then like the rat's down there actually, and this is like the first time he smacks like the fuck out of the water main. So the basement is just flooding at an alarming rate at this point because like it's basically like the main line going into the house. Then he smacks at the steam pipe, so steam's escaping from the boiler and everything. And it's like he's just this is
He
when
just chases the rat.
he
through
just
the house
chases
at
through the
this
house,
point.
fucking everything up.
And
Just-
swinging real high for no good reason, like just smashing mirrors on the wall, and
Swinging real wide,
Yeah.
just in general.
but he has a couple moves. Like he
Honestly,
does
though-
a couple of combat rolls, and
Yeah, but it's to me it was frustrating to watch because it's like he's not even swinging at anywhere even remotely near where the thing is.
Yeah.
And it's like, God damn it, you suck at everything, guy.
well, you're still not entirely convinced how big this thing is. Like the first time you really get a sense of it is when it chases him up the stairs out of the boiler room.
Yeah.
Because you see it and it's like, oh, that's like a small dog. It's still big for a rat, but
Yeah.
it's still too low for where you're swinging half the time because you're like knocking lamps off your tables and stuff.
Yeah,
you're just doing it for funsies.
It chewed up it did like the almost like the Pet Cemetery, like Achilles heel thing from underneath the basement stairs.
Yes,
caused
him to fall and then swipe at him a bunch.
And then it's like no, that's when that's when the first time you get like, okay, scale, there he is running up the stairs, close the door on him. But then later, like going back down the same stairs, which those stairs you just should avoid, my guy, because like that place, like at one point the rat jumps on his head.
Yes.
There's a rat on his head at some point, and
twice in this sequence he gets death from above by the rat.
Yes,
but he beats the fuck out of the house, chases it back down, and like has a final confrontation in the flooded boiler room, and eventually it goes back into the model dollhouse thing, and he's like, got you cornered, and just starts ripping sections of it away, and basically beats the fuck out of this rat eventually, and you see the nails go in, and rat blood go everywhere, and it's like, okay, he got it.
And
then he just kind of like sort of like saunters up like with a kind of a hero pose at the top of the stairs for half a second.
Yeah.
And then he's just kind of like looking around like, yeah, I totally fucked my house up.
Yep. But he takes a second to flick the water off his hand once he gets to the top.
But I like he's just like going through and surveying like how much he's fucked up his own house. And there's one like flower pot on the mantle, or a vase on the mantle, that like was still fine. And he just walks over and goes like
swats it like a cat.
Yeah.
Just like, fuck this thing.
Yeah.
I'm declaring everything on insurance.
We didn't even mention one of the first times before he actually sees the rat in the toilet, or maybe it's post the toilet thing. But like there is one point where he's sitting in his living room and the rat is like climbing on the piano wires.
Oh yeah.
Inside of he has like a grand piano,
Yeah.
but it's like making the keys move.
Yes.
Yeah, like down the scale.
Yeah.
And yeah.
But man, he just like slams the lid shut and is just like, I got you, you son of a bitch, and then he's just like, he leaves.
Yeah, there's several points where like he thinks he's trapped the rat and it doesn't at all. But yeah, but like shortly, like he basically is like, the house is destroyed. He's just kind of sort of having a victory lap, and like that's when Shannon Tweed's pulling up in the cab or their car or whatever, and he's just like, "Hey, honey," and she's like, "What are you wearing? Why are you all wet?" And then the kid's there too, and it's like, yeah, come on in, and then you just kind of hear like a off screen like, "What the hell happened here?"
It is not even that exciting.
No, it's not.
From her. It's like,
It's more of a
honey.
chuckle. It's like,
she's like, honey, what happened here?
And he's just
it's like, no, he just fucking, like, your house is trash. Like, you need to, like, file a false insurance claim that someone broke in and wrecked
she
it.
has zero concern about the state of this house. She's just like, honey.
That's
She's rich and good looking. It's
Yeah.
going to work out for her.
Yeah.
But he goes like, I had a party. Haha. So it ends on like a wah joke.
Yep.
That's how this movie
It's
ends.
even delivered with the same attitude that he had in the beginning of this movie.
He's reset. He's
But-
fine.
I guess. I
He
mean,
won the rat race.
he did. He
Sure.
did.
Yeah, it's just it's so weird that this movie doesn't have any casualties in it. Like there's no victims of the rat. The rat doesn't kill anybody. And it sets up so many obvious things, like all the stuff with the secretary. You're like, man, something just fucking terrible is going to happen to her, and it never does. But also, it doesn't do the thing that every fucking movie like this does, which is have another thing at the end happen, or there were two rats, or any kind of anything. It's just Peter Weller wins, and hooray, which is fine. I'm all for that. It's just so strange.
Well, it just leaves so many questions. Like, was it just a fucking rat? Like,
Of unknown origin.
well, I mean, was it? I mean, was it a real rat? Was it in his head? Was it a demonic ghost rat thing? Like there's so many things that this movie I feel like leaves like dangling threads.
Yeah.
This is the rest stop of rat movies.
But it also just kind of plays it really square as well. Like, yeah, there's some stuff where it seems a little spooky, just because rats
There are
running
jump
around the
scares,
house. Yeah,
and it's creepy to see this slimy close up of a rat.
right. But they play
With
it
good
pretty
sound effects
Yeah.
while
Yeah.
doing it.
They play it honestly pretty straightforward. Like, yeah, this is just a big fucking rat.
Yeah.
They don't try to like do anything supernatural, like levitating anything.
I mean,
Yeah,
it
he has
does
a
have
couple
Jason
fucked up
powers, but
sort of. I mean, he can
just
open
general
open-
teleportation powers.
Yeah.
But they show that, like, they show him running between the walls and running through the ducts and everything. So you're like, okay, well, that's kind of believable. A rat
Yeah.
can get around.
And he finds like this pipe where the end of it has come off, and he's like, "Oh, that's how you got in."
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, all right.
And the rat's maybe a little smarter than your average rat.
I wouldn't say that there's not rat vision. There's lots of rat perspective. though.
Correct.
Rat spectacle.
Yeah, you do see a lot of
A retrospective.
of it coming from the rat's perspective. But
Yeah, we've already decided we're gonna like make some latter day sequels to this,
Yep.
starting with
Ratatouille.
Ratatouille
Ratatouille.
would be the second one,
And then what was it? Three Blind Mice?
or Three Blind Rats. I think
Three
it has
Blind
to be
Rats,
because
yeah.
we got to make that differentiate.
And I'm sorry, not sequels. We're going to make squeakquels.
Oh right, I apologize. Yes, any sequel involving rodents must be a squeakquel. That's the bylaws of Hollywood.
Obviously, we've discussed this.
Yeah.
obviously,
There's another scene that just a brief scene that I wanted to point out, and that I can't remember what point it is in the movie, but it's maybe when he's going to the library or coming back from the library.
Oh, right.
But he's all like,
it's when he comes back.
he's sort of on his way out mentally, and he's just walking. You know, when you see a big building that's got like 45 entrance doors, and there are a ton of people walking in and out of all those doors. Well, he is walking as close as you possibly can to the doors/windows, and there are people in and out, 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 in and out of all those doors. And Peter Weller is not breaking stride, looking straight ahead and just walking.
Yep.
And nobody crashes into him. Nobody misses their cue or a beat. He just walks straight through right at the camera. And it's like a 20 or 25 second shot. And it's fucking awesome.
It's pretty good.
I don't know how they managed to time that like they did, but it looked really fucking cool.
Yeah, someone had a good idea that day on set. They were like,
Yep.
"Hey, let's do this."
If they can do it with cars and explosions, I think Peter Weller walking down a thing is pretty easy as far as timing goes.
Yeah, I know, but it looks
I know,
really
no,
difficult
I'm not-
because
I'm
it
not-
looks
yeah.
so chaotic.
It does.
And I know, obviously, it's not as chaotic as it looks, but the effect is really good.
Well, I'll tell you one thing they did in that shot is they probably zoomed a telephoto lens in really so that the space between the doors looks like nil.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like a weird perspective thing. So it looks like he's
Yeah.
coming much closer to everything than he is. It's just a camera trick. So,
Yeah.
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 Regardless of how they
No,
achieved
no.
it, and that
Sorry, I'm
is
not trying to break the illusion.
No, yeah, that's like even smarter than I would even begin to think of. But like it's to great effect. I was just like that shot about 8 seconds in. I was like, oh my god, it's still going on. And then 20 seconds in, I'm like, this is fucking cool. It just was one of those things that really stood out to me.
Yeah. But man, sound effects and music, like they're not getting any awards, but this movie has some leveling problems. Like, I mean, maybe it's intentional, like, because like sometimes the rat squeaks and shit like that are just like unbearably loud, and
I think that was by design.
yeah,
Yeah.
And there's that one moment where the like music and squeaks come to a crescendo at the same time.
It's
Well,
at the
and
end
that
of the
was-
scene you were
yeah. I was
talking
gonna say, I think it's like that scene is
because you were like, "This scene is awesome, but goddamn this sound."
Yeah.
yeah,
And that was almost unbearable. It had to be on purpose,
oh,
obviously.
absolutely,
Yeah.
yeah.
All right.
I guess we rate it.
Yeah, we do.
Anyone?
I just want to say right off the bat that I have no fucking clue how to rate this.
Okay.
It's
right.
Well, it's 1 to 5 jocks for a good bad movie.
right.
Yeah.
Enjoyable
I
bad
know
movie.
I know how to rate a movie on
Oh,
our scale,
Okay.
but I
It's
have
such
no
a weird
idea.
ass movie.
It is.
I know.
I'll rate it. I'll get the ball started.
Okay.
Alright.
I'm giving it 4 jocks.
Oh, I had guessed that you would give it 3.
Nope.
Okay.
I really, really like this movie. I like how just off kilter. Look, I just came off a month of watching 80 horror movies, and this is so different, but it is also of that genre. But yet, every convention that you think it might do, it never does. And on one hand, you could look at it and go, well, that sucks. It's not doing the things I want it to do. But on the other hand, I'm like, this is great. It doesn't end with bullshit. It's just a dude battling a rat, and he wins, and then his wife's okay with it. It's, I really think my only problem with the movie is, like, late second act on, it keeps breaking the momentum of his craziness by, like, he suits up and starts doing something crazy, and then it cuts back to the office. And I'm like, no, that's over.
Yeah, we don't care about that anymore.
I really don't give a shit. He's gone mental. I want him smashing up his house. And the weird thing of this is such a minor detail, but the weird thing about the whole thing is, like, at the very beginning when he calls in Cleet to fix the dishwasher, Cleet starts like molesting his tile in his house, and he's just like, "Oh, this tile's so pretty."
Is it real tile?
And he's like, "Yeah, it's real fucking tile. I'm a rich white guy. Of course, it's real tile." And you expect by the end of this movie, he's just going to be smashing the fuck out of all the tile, and you never get a shot like that of that happening. So it seems to set up a lot of stuff that it never pays off. A lot of that is interesting in that it doesn't pay it off because it's fucking with your head in terms of expectations. But there are a couple things that needed to pay off.
Oh, there's one other little side story that I just think is hilarious in the what the fuck is the deal with this rat thing, because there is one point where he finally gets a hold of an exterminator.
Yep.
And he sets up this whole thing where it's he's like, key will be on the second step under this mat, check will be in the turntable cover, you know, all this stuff. Just, I won't be home, just come fucking deal with this rat. And he comes home and he's all happy, like, fucking rat's dead, check's gone out of the turntable, like, they got the rat.
Yep, you're dead,
motherfucker.
And
like rat does whatever rat thing to scare him again, and then he gets on the phone all angry, like, "You motherfuckers, you said you were going to be here." He's like, "Hey, listen to you, motherfucker. I came there and I looked for like 1 hour for looking at a fucking check." And he like finds the shredded up check that the rat had like purposely gone and gotten the check and shredded it.
Yeah, and left it, most of it intact on the table so he could see it.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's these little things that like make me go, make me think it's more than just guy versus rat movie.
Yeah.
Because like, there's something else happening here, and I think that's what's bothering my brain.
Well, yeah, just like when at one point when he goes down to the basement and he's working on the stuff in his bed on his report that he has to turn in, and he goes downstairs and fights the rat for a while and comes back, and the rat has somehow shredded his entire report in the time between then and there.
Yep.
Like that's why, and it's funny, I wanted to go last because I figured nobody else would be giving this jocks, but I was going to give it 4 jocks as well, to echo off Chuck, because it's just so weird and so unique, and there are so many things that, to me, that point toward him imagining all of this. And I like that it never tips its hand, because by the end, like, you know, it's obviously pretty symbolic that he ends up smashing the rat inside the miniature version of his own house, and then chucking it in the water where it's already destroyed, and then walking away.
Yeah, it's not like he emerges out the front door holding it by the tail like, "I fucking did it." You know, it's quite possible 5 minutes later he will go to show his wife what caused this problem, and it's not there.
Yeah.
But we don't get that.
You know, and I've been on record as not really liking Peter Weller all that much a lot of the time. You know, like I don't like him in Buckaroo Banzai. I think he's dull and boring in that. And he is very much not dull and boring at all in this movie throughout. No. Like, he's charismatic in a way that sells all of the craziness that he dives into. And it is like, it's a case of, he's so good in this, like the only other person I could see who could be doing the freak out this successfully would be like Nick Cage. If you put Nick Cage in a movie like this, losing his mind over a rat, like if you were going to remake Of Unknown Origin, throw Nick Cage going nuts in this, and I think you'd be able to match what Peter Weller does in here.
Yeah.
But I don't think there are many actors that would, in the way that he does.
He is doing a very Goldblummy version of reacting to everything. Like,
because he's still quipping. Like, even as
Right.
he's losing his mind, he's still like, what? Like, one of the final straws is when he chews through the power, and he's like, "Figured it took you long enough to get there, huh?" And it's like, his whole house has been destroyed at this point. He's just
I
like,
thought you'd do that.
Yeah. He's like still joking with the thing.
Yeah, it's weird. It's like somebody's asking in the live stream chat, like, would it work better with anybody else? Like, or would it work if it wasn't Peter Weller? And outside of maybe a couple exceptions, I don't know that it would work. This is the Peter Weller that people who like Peter Weller see in his other movies that we don't see.
He's great in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Another candidate, Sam Rockwell, because he can do straight normal guy into full freak out mode really well.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good call.
Yeah. But I just, this was not the movie I was expecting in any way. I figured it was going to be like Pureweller versus Chud rats or something.
Yeah, I figured there's gonna be like
not...
green glowing goo in this, and just
yeah,
like...
and they talk about like the nuclear stuff where like, oh, the rats got all the radiation, and then they multiplied tenfold, and you're like, oh, is it a giant mutant rat? And it's
Yeah.
like, no, it's just a really big fucking rat.
Yep.
That may not even exist.
Right.
I think like to go to your point about it like not existing. I think we're so used to, and because it's spooky month, we're used to and expecting something else to be up besides just a rat. And I think that it is accidentally or on purpose sort of just subverting our expectations and going like, oh yeah, it's probably just a fucking rat. You are projecting, you know, your need for some sort of supernatural or otherworldly or non-standard giant intelligent rat on this movie.
I think
It's
the
strange
title
in that way.
is its biggest detractor because it immediately sets your brain going.
Also, I like that the title card for some reason decides to frame it all so that the letters go ooh.
Yeah, the
'cause
three O's
it's got
line
all
up.
it's got all three O's lined up. So
Yeah.
I don't know why. Just that's right off
The
the bat.
title designer was like, "Hey, check this shit out."
All right. Well, I guess I'll go for the rating. I don't know what to make of this one. Like I'm
You're gold blooming over it.
I'm torn. I am. It's definitely getting jocks. I'm just trying to decide how much, because I do think this is a thing that needs to be seen, and I think it needs a 3 jocks worth of being seen. Because I mean, like, I would pretty strongly recommend you watch this. I don't know that I get it in one viewing, and I very much err on the side of the rat. There is no rat side of the interpretation. I don't think supernatural is the right answer. I think it's more man going crazy. Like, he probably devoted a lot of his life to, you know, making this housework and making the job work, getting the hot wife and the, I guess, good son.
Getting the stupid.
Well, like, you know,
son.
getting all of his life in order, and like, you know, and then Jobs just like, because he makes one like mention of like, oh man, it just never ends, does it? You know, that kind of like, you know, crushing banality of work life thing. You know,
I
where
know
it's
what
like,
he means.
I just finished this, and like, you know, you're piling more shit on me, or I was doing awesome at this one thing, and for the powers that be, for whatever reason, just yanked me off of that into something I'm not comfortable with. So I feel like it's like this. I wouldn't say midlife, because I mean, he's probably like 20-something, maybe 30-something in this movie. He's pretty young. So it's just like this crisis of like, fuck, I'm doing everything I can, and then the rat is just like symbolizing that gnawing feeling of like, you know, that you're not doing enough kind of thing, you know. So I don't know. I'm erring on that side, but you know, that's the kind of nice thing about this movie is it could just be as simple as a dude versus a rather large rat. It works on multiple levels and isn't like, we've become so self-aware that you can't make movies without it being like hitting you over the head of like, nah, man, like, he was crazy the whole time, none of this was happening, like, you know, kind of thing, or whatever, you know, fight clubbing it to death or something, you know. But
Okay, I'm team no rat now.
yeah, I don't know. I just that's what I'm taking away from it after one viewing.
I'm in team no rat.
Okay.
It's a good team to be on.
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Chuck, are you team rat or team no rat?
I think there was a rat.
Okay, so you're team rat.
Yeah.
There's no rat.
I'm team no rat now.
I would like to read the novel this is based on, because
Was
It very much does feel like a movie based on a novel where it just kind of ends that way.
yeah. But I would be interested to read it just to see if the movie was more definitive or if the book was more decisive, I guess I want to say. Like, you know, how vague, because like American Psycho, the movie was a lot different than the book in terms of like what that ending was, you know. And so, you know, shit gets changed out of books all the time, especially throwaway paperbacks like this.
Yeah.
So anyway, sorry, BJ.
well, another good example, The Shining, you know.
Yes,
movie
exactly.
to
We were
to
talking about
book.
earlier.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking
Yeah.
about that, and that's very much a case of what's real in that, you
Yeah.
know, kind of thing.
Oh man, I'm gonna go 3 jocks. I will say that I still don't know if I necessarily like this movie or not, but you should see it, and it's interesting.
Yeah. It's super. That's where I went. Is like I don't know that I love the movie, but I'm recommending it that strongly. Like, regardless of my feeling, it is a fascinating movie.
Yeah, you'll get something out
Yeah,
of
you're
it.
gonna get something. And if not, you get to at least see the most animated Peter Weller I think I've ever seen in a movie
For sure.
Yeah.
Some good snappy dialogue, some good business dialogue in the beginning. And it's, Shout Factory Blu-ray?
Yeah.
Scream Factory.
Ooh.
In fact,
The
I think
spooky division.
all the Peter Weller movies we watched have all been released by Shout Factory. So
We ain't getting paid by them, but just so you know where you can get them.
They keep going back to the Weller. Yeah.
on that note,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's take a break, shall we?
Okay.
back to the Weller. Get out.
I cannot.
That's true, right?
I live here.
I mean, you could.
I could.
It would get awkward.
It would.
Because then we would have to stay to prove a point.
Nah, we just block them out.
I'd unleash a giant rat.
Peter Weller of RoboCop and Sons of Anarchy.
Okay.
I hate that on Letterboxd, his #1 film is Star Trek Into Darkness. That is listed as the first film he has a credit for.
Well, sadly, that's probably just the thing
The
that's
most popular
The most popular
reviewed.
on
Yeah.
Letterboxd,
Yeah.
yeah. Because,
But
the
yeah, but
kids.
still, it's like, fuck you. RoboCop's second.
Ah, yes, Robert Kopp.
He's good in that Star Trek movie. He's animated in that, too.
Yeah, a little bit, not like this.
He's pretty animated.
Just not like this.
No.
like this, man.
No.
Not like this.
He's pretty animated in Firstborn also, but we're not watching Firstborn.
Why?
That movie's all about domestic abuse.
Oh.
He's a piece of shit stepdad. But he's super animated in that. But yeah, that's not a movie that we would have a good time with.
Probably not.
I've seen that movie a lot of times.
I don't like abuse movies.
Yeah.
Man, you got anything for second half?
Not really.
Man, Ant-Man and the Wasp just came out on digital already.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't know what it is, but I'm still not used to this. Like, it's been a couple months, movie's out
Yeah.
thing.
What now?
Like Ant-Man and the Wasp came out digital today,
Yep.
and I was like, it was only a couple weeks ago. I was like, maybe we should go see that, and then just never did.
Yeah, there's several things like I just remember like I swear one of them like 8th Grade came out digitally, that Bo Burnham movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like I remember, I feel like it was just a month ago. I was like, yeah, that's out. I should go see that because I have that AMC thing.
Yeah,
And the next thing I know, it's like, oh, it's here digitally.
yeah,
Okay. I mean, I know it's an indie movie, and they tend to dump them faster because they're not like
yeah.
ever
I
coming
just
back
wish,
to theaters.
I just wish Amazon would get their shit together with Disney movies, because like Marvel movies and Solo, it's just like, yeah, you can try and order it, but we're not really going to list it. Like, we're only going to point you towards the digital one. Like, if you want an actual hard copy, fucking forget about it. We're going to make you go through a European seller or some shit. Like, I don't
Are there
understand.
rats in that European cellar?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't understand. So I still haven't bought Solo, the 4K disc, just because it's like, I don't even know if you guys have it yet. And I don't want to go to Best Buy. I mean, Christ.
Best Buy.
Buzz Bye.
Release.
Ugh.
Ugh.
The only thing about Best Buy that now pisses me off is like, it used to just be like, yeah, and while we have them, here's steelbooks that are like the same price as the other one, just a limited time.
Yeah.
Now it's like, hey, that's $6 more if you want
Yeah,
the steelbook.
and you
It's like,
better have pre-ordered it because you're
like,
not going
what?
to fucking get one. Like collectors snap that shit up, like all of them. Because I know Knobs talked about it. Like he tries to buy everything steelbook if he buys it because he's still like me 10 years ago, where it's like I must have the physical edition of every movie that comes out.
Sure.
But he's said he's been in line and he'll see guys with like 6, 7, 8 copies of the same movie,
This talk about
all steelbook.
Talking about nerdy shit. Like I use a movie like disc cataloging application, like a little
Yeah.
database thing, and one of the reviews was every Tuesday I go and buy all the new 4K discs, and I'm usually the first person that has to enter it into your database. And it's like, well, yeah, my guy, if you're buying them on like first day, you know,
Yeah.
it's like, and you're buying everything. I mean, I think about that, like, dude, how much do you fucking spend on movies here? Because like 4K discs day one are like $30 a piece at least.
Yeah, and what kind of house do you have?
Yeah.
Like that became my problem.
A
is
house made
I
of
don't-
4K Blu-rays.
I don't have anywhere to put any of that shit anymore.
I'm
Like-
sorry.
Like I have boxes in the closet
Right.
of Blu-rays, and that's it.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not disparaging new movies per se. I'm not one of those guys. Like, I still think there are good movies out there, but it's like the quantity of shit coming out now that's worthy of owning, period, much less on fucking 4K, is, I mean, I know they're still releasing some catalog shit, but fucking hell, dude. Like, why would you need to buy that many things? Like, it's a limited medium. It's not like when Blu-ray came out where it's like, yeah, Blu-ray's everywhere. 4K discs are still, like, very much a niche market thing, you know? And it's like, what they're putting out, it's like, dude, you do not need to own, you know, fucking...
Yeah, I'm down to Star Wars movies and Marvel movies. And everything else. Otherwise, unless it's like, all right, they put out Alien again. It's like, yep, I'm fucking buying another copy of Alien. Or The Thing or whatever.
I
It's
guess
like,
I
yep,
have to
buy another fucking copy of The Thing.
First one to log in Life of the Party on 4K discs.
Well, like today, I saw that Step Brothers came out on 4K, and I'm like, really? Does that really? Do we need that? I mean,
Like,
I'm sure you had it.
Like studios, here's how it works. When a new format comes out, we want Star Wars movies, we want Alien movies, we want Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah, they don't have a 4K Indiana Jones yet, do they?
I don't think so.
Is there a 4K Fifth Element?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Okay, we're
Yeah,
that
and
was
Star
our-
Wars.
gotta have that one.
That was
Star
early.
Wars Digital, they still want like $90 for the original movies.
We want most of the catalog of James Cameron, Ridley Scott, Steven Spielberg. These are the people that we want. Like,
Yeah, the James Bond movies.
yeah, these are the things we want in 4K or whatever new thing first. Please
Yeah.
do those first, and then you can fill it in
Yeah,
with.
I
you
have
know,
my 50th anniversary Bond set, and I may just have to leave it at that.
Yeah.
It's a good
Unless-
set.
Like,
That set's gorgeous. That is still like one of the best designed book,
Yeah.
package things for movies that I've ever seen.
Well, and
that thing is beautiful.
Yes, and Dr. No looks amazing. Like
Yeah,
I
all
went
those
back
discs
and
look fantastic.
yeah, I was just some of like the late 70s, early 80s stuff is grainy as shit, but that's just because of the era. But man, like those early ones, it is a revelation from standard def to seeing them like that.
Really?
You're just like, oh wow.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to borrow that box set from one of you guys and watch through again.
Yeah.
I'm
I've
about
been-
And then
I've
I have
been itching
Spectre
to do
just
another.
hanging off to the side.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, that came out after, so
Was that? Oh no, they put the slot in there for Skyfall.
they did.
Yeah, but not
Because
Spectre.
it came out like a month or two before Skyfall.
Right. Yeah.
But I'm glad they put that slot in. They weren't assholes about it.
Yeah. They already. It's funny. They announced like Mission Impossible is coming out already because of course it is. It's been a month, and they released the box art for it, and everyone's like, "You motherfuckers! You just redesigned all the other cases
Yeah.
to look the same, and this one looks nothing like them. What the fuck?"
I just realized they could have actually been even less assholes. It should have been incentive, like you buy this set now and you get a voucher for when Skyfall comes out. We just give it to you. Like, remember when people used to do shit like that?
Yeah. But they're I think they were just like, if you're paying $250 for this set, you're just gonna fucking pay $30 to get Skyfall anyway.
I know, but I'm saying,
Which
like,
is basically what I did.
I mean, remember Christmas, 1977, where we didn't actually get Star Wars toys? We
Yeah.
got vouchers for getting Star Wars toys later.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, like I'm saying, like,
I don't remember.
yeah, I don't either because I was like less than one. But I'm saying, like, we've done things like this before where it's like, yeah, we know this isn't, it's 50th anniversary. Skyfall is going to be a big part of that. You know, when it comes out, we will send this to you.
Yeah, and I guess after the next one, I'm assuming they'll do a 25 movies in box set as well.
That's the one that I'll buy.
If it's 4K, I'll probably consider it.
Well, you got to get the TV first.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm future proofing everything.
Okay.
But yeah, I just the list of stuff that I actually physically purchase is dwindling. Now it's more
yeah.
like, all right, what can I scan a UPC code for on Voodoo?
I mean, I bought a couple movies in 4K just because, like, yeah, I really want that in 4K. But like any other ones I've bought, it's like, oh, there's a deal on that. Okay, snap that up. You know, like,
Yeah.
I mean, when DVDs came out, I bought every new release the first year of DVDs.
Did you ever buy stuff from DVD Express?
Yes.
Yeah.
And-
I like every
and-
Tuesday, people at Fox were like, "Hey, what'd you get this week?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't know.
I have a DVD Express
I don't remember when I pre-ordered all this.
mouse pad. I played the whole online coupon code game because
Yep.
like in the early years of DVD, holy shit,
Yeah.
that was amazing.
I used to be in part of the trading ring, like when Montgomery Ward, I think it was selling DVDs, and they went down to $7, and some people would be like, "Oh, well, I can get you a copy of Mars Attacks, and
Yeah.
I'll trade you that for God knows what it was," but it was all the snapper case DVDs.
Yep.
We had a fucking trading ring on whatever internet forum that was that I was on.
God, I hated those cases.
Yeah,
Snap.
they're the worst. They suck.
Yeah, they're pretty fucking paper too. So good God help you if you ever get them like remotely moist.
Yep.
They will warp and be terrible.
Moist.
Yeah, but more and more, just like the movies anywhere thing has made me just be like, I should buy everything digital. I should just say fuck it.
Yeah, I know. It's just
I keep thinking back to the DVDs I had and realizing like, wow, none of the shit survived the HD conversion. Like
I know.
none of these things are fucking anywhere, and it's just.
Yeah,
Like-
I do
like,
have a lot
I'm
of
all
super rare DVDs.
I'm
right
all
now.
for our digital future, but it only makes sense if it's
If
it
the stuff's
goes
available.
out instead of this funneling down of just.
Well, yeah, and now
it's
iTunes
just the Fifth
removing-
Element again. You know,
Yeah,
it's like,
if people are removing getting stuff removed from iTunes,
Yeah.
that they've purchased.
yeah. Which there was a big stink about that a little while back, and then did you hear the after story of it? So there was a guy that was like. He said like he had like 3 movies or TV shows or something removed from his iTunes
Oh,
account.
right, yeah.
And like Apple was like, sorry about that. Here's like $20 credit of iTunes, and he's like, the fuck, that's your answer. And then it come to find out he moved countries.
Oh,
Like
Jesus.
so, it was like it was available in one and not the other, and it delisted it when as soon as he signed into the other.
yeah, because it wasn't available. It wasn't.
And it
they
was
had no
like-
rights there.
Okay, guy, like
Yeah.
you're gonna have to understand there's some restrictions, but I feel like if they want people to go to the all digital future, first off, everyone needs to embrace something like Movies Anywhere. Like everyone needs to play the Movies Anywhere game and just be like, look, buy it on whatever fucking service you want, and it'll come over to the other ones. And then they need to put in some sort of clause of like, you are buying this in perpetuity. Like like we are
Yeah.
not going to remove this, or they're going to do like the Steam delisting thing. Like, well, if you have it, you can continue, but we're just not going to sell it going forward.
Yeah.
They need to make that contract with people, and then I think more
yeah,
people.
because
will be,
you just can't count on streaming.
right. You can't.
Streaming, you absolutely cannot count on in any way, shape,
Like
or form.
people. What was I know Voodoo's Walmart, but what was their fucking music service before that got pulled out? And they were
Oh.
just like, sorry if you bought anything on here, it's fucking going away.
Yeah.
Like I think
don't even know.
they relented in like the last month. They were like you could download DRM free copies of it, but like when they first said they were shutting it down, it was just like sorry if you spend any money here,
I
you're
remember
fucked.
that. The other thing that, I mean, I kind of understand it, but it also kind of pisses me off for like just consumer choice kind of thing, is that now that Xbox is part of the Movies Anywhere
Yeah.
thing, I now go into the movies deals every week to see what's on sale, and I look through all their stuff, and occasionally there's something like this bundle makes sense, I'll get that.
Yeah.
But then I realized that the deals on digital movies are the same on every site every week.
Yeah.
iTunes deals are the same, Vudu deals are the same, Xbox deals are the same. It's all this. There's no, I can get this on here and I get this deal over here. It's like it's all the same everywhere, and that fucking sucks.
I wonder if the movie studios kind of cracked down and said, you can only put this as a deal, if we say so. You can only discount the price.
Yeah, but make deals with different people. Like, just let me have different.
It doesn't. I don't think it benefits them to do that, though.
I think it's dumb for all of the things to have the same deal.
Yeah.
That just doesn't make sense to me.
I don't know.
Because
Anyway.
I mean, like when Xbox and PlayStation have their weekly things, it's not like Ubisoft has a sale on both. It's always like this week it's a Ubisoft sale on PlayStation, but Xbox has fucking Activision or
Yeah.
I was hoping everyone was going to hop in the line after Apple and say like, yeah, if you own the movie, we're just going to upgrade it. I mean, I feel like that's another thing they could do to push people and just be like, yeah, if you had an HD copy, we know it's new. We're into 4K world now. You just have it.
Yeah.
You bought a digital license. When the 8K comes out, we're going to give you that too.
I just need Paramount and Lionsgate to fucking buy in on this shit already.
They really do.
They're killing me.
Yeah.
Because Mission Impossible, I have 1, 2, 3, and 5 on Vudu, and I have 4 on iTunes, and they don't talk to each other. It's
Yeah.
like-
Well, that set I bought recently that doesn't obviously include 5 or new one 6. I had to think about that. Like whatever set, I got them, and they went right into iTunes and gave me 4K copies. So, just saying, like that. I'm sure you can snap that set up cheap now because they're probably trying to.
I
click.
Oh, yeah, when
it
they-
was still over $40.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now they're just packaging the new one with all of them. So,
But if you just went like that Fast and Furious set that was the tire, that thing dropped like super fast.
Yeah, because that was like only 1 through 7, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Anytime they add a new movie to the series, those bundles drop like really, really low.
Yeah.
I guess this should have been the second.
I was
half,
going to say, should this just be the second
yeah,
half?
we should edit that in.
This is actually a movie discussion. We have got nothing to talk about.
Yeah,
That's true. I haven't watched anything.
Yeah.
I have 2 things that I watched. The
Okay.
1 week I watch movies.
Okay.
all right. Well, we'll bring that in.
Yeah, why don't you go ahead and bring us back, and then I'll edit that stuff together.
Good luck.
Like, what?
We'll just say, hey, we talked about this during the break. We're going to splice it in, and then we'll be back with BJ's stuff.
Yeah.
That work?
Okay.
All right, welcome back.
Hey!
Second half, BMFcast.
Second
That's
half.
the show.
Yeah, so we kind of got off on a tangent during the break, and then
good tangent.
we kind of realized that
Enjoyable tangent.
we hadn't really watched anything except for BJ. Apparently, watched something on the week when nobody else watched anything.
Hey, look at that. Look at me doing work.
So we're gonna play our tangent and then cut in BJ's thing. So if it sounds slightly awkward, it's because we're doing it in post. And if you're watching the live stream, then just memento this shit. I don't know.
Deal with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, BJ, what did you see?
I watched 2 movies, one that I had seen before and one that I hadn't. I watched Event Horizon, 1996's,
I'm not
97's.
I'm not sure if I've seen that.
You you get me every time. Something in my brain.
That is...
So you had not seen Events Horizon?
No, I had seen it.
Okay, all right.
But I saw it probably shortly after it came out.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't remember a fucking thing about Event Horizon, and that movie is both weirder and less weird than I remembered it. Also, 90s as fuck. That intro, the music is by some dude and Orbital,
Yeah.
and it's like with that. I don't know the typeface, but you know the typeface when you see it from every
You're
fucking.
like, oh, this came out in the 90s.
Right. This came out in the late 90s. Of course it did.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that 1997 CGI does not age well, my friends.
Yeah.
Not very well at all. And there's a lot of shit that really did not need to be CGI back then, and boy did they do it anyway. But they also really went for it on the Abyss, like water technology. Whenever they could use that, they were fucking all over it, and that still looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But
It also seemed
Boy.
like they tried to kill the cast a lot, like with explosions on set and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, there's a huge entire massive hallway full of explosions scene that's like that guy's gonna die.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yikes. And man, Sam Neill going for it. Really fucking going for it in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is that the Paul W.S. Anderson movie? Is it? Did he
Yes.
do that?
Yes.
Okay, that's the one everyone is like. That's the good.
That's his
Is that
best
the only
film.
good one?
Some of the others are fine.
Is it
but
good?
Yes.
Is Event Horizon good?
Yes, it is.
Is
I'm
it?
speaking of someone who hasn't seen it in 10 years, but as someone
Okay.
who for 10 years sang its praises and said, you need to see Event Horizon, I still maintain it's good. Now, it's...
I want you to go back and watch Event Horizon and tell me whether you think it's good or not.
Okay.
I mean, it's like 90 minutes, isn't it? And you can feel like a lot of something has been cut out of it because it's of that era of, no, this is too weird and gross and you must cut it all. Because like when they watched the tape of whatever the fuck happened, like I just love the premise that the spaceship went so fast it went to evil place. It just went where there's pure chaos.
Right.
And pure chaos just means you turn inside out and then you try to eat your friends.
Right. It brought insanity back from space. Right? I don't know.
Where you get hands in your eyeballs and you just
Right.
your
own
skin
hands
falls
in your-
off.
Your skin falls off in stylish strips. See, I don't think Event Horizon is a good movie. I think it is an enjoyable bad movie, as in 1 to 5 Robot Jocks.
I think going so
But-
fast that everyone goes crazy is fucking great.
Yeah, but that's an enjoyable bad movie, as in 1 to 5 Robot.
Okay.
1 to 5 Jocks.
Fine.
I don't think it's an actual good movie.
Maybe that was my gateway into bad movies are awesome.
It must be, because it's fun as shit. Like dumb shit happens, explosions, creepiness, bad CGI, Sam Neill going out of his mind,
Prodigy.
Orbital.
Well, Prodigy's at the end. The end credits are.
Is that
Yeah.
Prodigy?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the Prodigy.
Oh, sorry.
It said music by Orbital and other guys, so I just assumed
Okay.
all of the music was was Orbital. So that's what it sounds like. That is honest to God what it sounds like. Mackie, back me up on this. That's
It's
what all that
music
shit
by the
sounds like.
Tasmanian Devil.
Sounds about right.
Michael Kamen. Just so Jens doesn't go crazy going,
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Jens.
other guy.
After we watched the lunatic space movie, we wanted to go as far in the other direction as possible and watch a still fictional but as realistic as we felt possible at the time space movie, and we watched The Martian. And
yes.
The Martian is a
Slightly more realistic.
slightly, yeah. The Martian is a good-ass movie. I had never seen The Martian before.
Yeah, I kind of love The Martian.
And
That's a good movie.
somehow the copy that we were watching was like 480p, and that movie still looks fan-fucking-tastic because a lot of that shit is super practical. And it just looks right. Everything about that movie looks really good.
That's actually one that the both versions, the theatrical and the director's cut, are both good. Like
Ooh, I don't know if we saw the theatrical or directors.
yeah, I don't know, because I mean it's significantly longer, but like that movie is paced such that like it didn't feel like this is longer and I know why this is cut. It's like they're both solid. Like it's I can't even say watch one or the other. They're just both good.
It felt like a long movie, and I don't really remember the running time of the one that we watched, but it felt like a long movie, but it never felt like punishingly long. It didn't feel like we were, struggling to make it through. But that movie looks good. It is good. Everything about it I liked. I like it for many of the same reasons I really liked Apollo 13, and that is solving problems in space by sciencing the shit out of them.
Yep.
And people putting aside their differences
Yes.
to work through all of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And not like losing perspective and being like, well, I'm not working with him. There's
Right.
like none of that sort of bullshit
Yeah,
in that
it's
movie.
like everyone get your shit together. Let's solve this problem.
Right.
Yeah.
And they
Also,
do.
I really like how the Mad Max collection and the Martian line up and look like the same continuation of a cover.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do. We're looking at the
The-
shelf
the- yeah,
of
the
movies
Blu-rays,
over
yeah.
here.
Yeah.
But yeah, The Martian is the shit. You should watch it if you have not already. I did not know Donald Glover is in The Martian.
Yep.
I was like, fuck yes, Donald Glover.
There's a fuckload of people in that movie.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
one of those movies where it's just like it doesn't give you opening credits, so it's just like, wait, what? Why is this person in this?
Yeah, it waits 230 minutes to give you credits. So
Yeah.
or however many minutes it is. But
Yeah, I really like that movie. Like I am such a sucker for, realistic feeling sci-fi shit where it's just like, yep, this feels like where we will be in a short period of time.
And it's
Well-
it's so weird to me that Ridley Scott made that and then made such a misanthropic thing as Alien Covenant a couple years later.
That is weird because
like Martian is all optimism
it
about
is-
humanity.
Yeah, humanity is awesome. If we get our shit together, we can do awesome things.
And then Alien Covenant's like, nah, fuck humanity. They all deserve to die.
Well, some
And I
things
hope they burn in
happened.
hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
Your worldview could change over the course of that
Wow.
year.
It changed quick for him. Very clearly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
what's the other space movie recently that was not Interstellar?
Gravity.
Gravity. There is a thing I have a problem with from Gravity that I have a similar problem with in The Martian, and they're both towards the end. Some very unlikely things.
Oh, sure, yes.
Yeah.
When it gets sci-fi as fuck, where it's just like, no.
Yeah, well, not even sci-fi. It just gets a little action movie.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like,
Little action movie.
like it
goofy.
was almost science fact for a while, and then it's like, oh no, it's a movie. We got to do a crazy shit, and it's
Yeah.
like, right, all right, yeah, I know exactly. What
I
you're
wanted
talking
them to problem solve their way through
Yeah.
that, as opposed to
about.
just
Star Trek their way out of it.
not even that. It's like, Fast and Furious or Mission Impossible their way out. Like, no, let's figure this out like the science way, not the woohoo, not the Armageddon way.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, it's great. You should watch it, like I've said 3 times already.
Yeah.
I agree.
And that's all I got.
You got one more thing we need.
What's that?
Unless Mackie has some things we need.
I got a couple emails.
Okay.
Oh, we got emails. All right.
All right. Yeah.
All right.
All right. First one up is from Chris from Kentucky. This one's called Mr. Right. Says, hey guys,
Hey.
just wanted to drop a recommendation for a movie from 2015 called Mr. Right. Somehow this movie has flown under the radar, despite featuring Sam Rockwell as an assassin who falls for Anna Kendrick. It also features the great Tim Roth and RZA as bad guys. Not sure if it's bad enough to be a BMFcast worthy, but it's worth watching either way. It's better than American Ultra, at least. Crash and Burn, Chris from Kentucky.
I've never heard of Mr.
I
Right.
remember vaguely hearing about that, and then it just vanishing.
Is that the one where he's got like a clown nose on the cover or something?
Yep.
Yep.
Sure is.
So in other words, sold poorly.
Yeah.
But usually all you have to say is Sam Rockwell. I'm like, yeah, let me sign up for that.
Oh, Max Landis wrote it.
Oh,
That's why.
yeah, that would be.
So it qualifies for a bad movie.
Oh,
Zing pow.
world star!
Face melt.
All right,
Plot keywords: Hitman, clown nose.
those are the plot keywords.
There's more, but those are the first two.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'd watch that.
I remember
still.
this coming out, but I don't remember where it came out.
Probably a movie theater.
I think it came out either right before or right after Max Landis
Maybe.
totally
Turned into
fucked
a
himself.
shithead.
Yeah.
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 Or revealed that he was a shithead, most
Right.
likely. It's usually how it goes. So anyway,
Mm-hmm.
different one from Nils.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, hi, Nils.
No.
This is a film theory question.
Well, we are the right people.
Yes.
Well.
So,
I'm out.
ask us. Greetings, casters. Nils from Southern Utah here. Last weekend, I was looking around on Tubi TV, a free ad-based streaming service that has a surprising amount of BMF films on it, and I came across BMX Bindits, which I've been meaning to rewatch since you covered it. Well, watching the bumbling henchman's less than effective actions trying to get the radios from the kids, it put the gears in my mind turning. It got me wondering, is incompetence the greatest driving force in film? If in Gremlins, Billy gets a pet and properly cares for it as he was instructed to, how many people don't die? If in Return of the Living Dead, the guys in the warehouse do the work they're supposed to just be doing and don't go poking around barrels full of toxic gas? Or the scientist who thinks taking the DNA from the most vicious dinosaurs and mixing them together to make a super killing machine is a good idea? Clearly, it's not the only driving force in any film plot, but it is definitely one of them. Do you think this hypothesis holds water? And what are your personal opinions of the greatest film plots, BMF movies or other, caused by catastrophic stupidity? Crash and Burn, Nils out.
Well, speaking of holding water, Billy actually did okay. It was Corey Feldman.
Yeah, it was fucking Corey Feldman that got Gizmo wet.
Yeah.
And then it was the Gremlins that changed the clocks.
Yes.
Yeah, Billy was all right.
Yeah, Billy did fine.
Billy's mistake was trusting Corey Feldman.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Jurassic Park was hubris more so than incompetence.
Oh, I think he's more referring to Jurassic Park sequels, more in the Jurassic World milieu.
Yeah,
Because, I mean, the
like,
original
That
one was
seems
just
to
like...
still be hubris.
Well, he was
Like,
saying, like, actually, like, trying to make killing machines. They were just trying to make dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Which, I guess...
I think that is hubris as well. Like,
Sure.
we
Yeah.
can fucking do it. We can make giant killing
Yeah.
machines that won't kill things.
Let's make
the
a
way we
dinosaur
want
that
them.
can camouflage itself.
Yeah.
And
Right.
also is fucking murder machine.
Right. What
That'd
could
be
go
sweet.
wrong?
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
We'll
The
handle
Lost
it.
World is just Julianne Moore going to the island to take pictures and getting stuck there.
Mm-hmm.
And so they recruit Jeff Goldblum to go get her. And then they meet up with the hunters. I mean, nothing really goes wrong there except that people who shouldn't be there are there.
I would say...
However,
I would say the driving force of stupidity is more a trope of kid-based movies because there's some unspoken social contracts of not harming kids, and so you have to make any sort of henchmen, danger people inherently stupid.
Home Alone.
Yeah, because you can't. I mean, obviously, most adults can outwit kids, and so it doesn't become a thing that you can actually have a movie based around.
Well, I mean, every Bond movie where the Bond villain doesn't just shoot James Bond in the head.
Sure.
And
Hubris.
instead, I guess that
Yeah,
kind of is, but
But I think that specifically the bumbling henchman thing is a byproduct of appealing to kids, because another thing that will appeal to kids is all kids think adults are stupid, and so when they get that wish fulfillment played out on film, kids enjoy it because they think that everything we do is boring and stupid. So we're just, they haven't had the soul-crushing weight of life actually affect them yet.
I will say most romantic comedies where something goes wrong in the middle to where the woman gets very angry at the dude and the dude has to spend the rest of the movie fixing it, even though like a sentence of dialogue would have fixed the weird misunderstanding right from the get-go.
That's the cinema trope I fucking hate.
Yeah.
Is not saying something just to fucking fix something.
Yeah.
That drives me up the goddamn
Well, yeah,
wall.
like Lost would have lasted a season and a half if people had actually talked to each other,
Right.
and told everyone things like what was happening. But everyone has to that trope bothers me more as well.
Yeah.
Where
Keeping secrets, yeah.
well, yeah, we're just like, or not just imparting basic information that makes sense.
Yeah, even worse. Even worse is like the "I'm so busy I don't have the time to talk to you" thing, and it's like, no, you're going to endanger the entire mission if you don't tell me basic information.
Right.
Yeah.
Like maybe telling the other people that are being hunted by a predator that it hunts by infrared and can sense the heat in your body, so it doesn't matter. Maybe telling the rest of the crew that, even though you've known that all your life. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Just thought.
Yeah.
But yeah, but as far as like movies with stupidity, the best movies find ways to force characters to have to make the stupid decision.
Like Ricochet.
Yeah, maybe. But like think about Alien. Like Sigourney Weaver makes the correct decision and says we can't let him back on the ship with that thing on his face. And the captain overrides her because his friend will die if he doesn't.
Right.
Like that's when, yes, that's a stupid decision, but it's also, you find a justification for the stupid decision.
It's the
And
stupid
that's when the
decision
best movies work.
that you could see yourself making if you're in that situation.
Yeah.
Even though it's objectively the wrong decision, subjectively, you would probably make that decision if you were in the same in the
Yeah,
same
if
space.
if your buddy was like, okay, we have to leave him outside the ship for 24 hours,
Be like, no.
he's going to die. He's like, no, we'll figure this out, or if you can look at it as Ash actually lets them in because Ash wants him to be let in.
Yeah, or I mean, you can even backtrack and realize that John Hurt made the stupid decision by going, "Oh, let me look in this thing."
That was the incompetence, was
Yeah.
just like, let me stick my face in this opening alien egg.
Yeah.
Well, to
horror
that point,
movies, I think a lot
Yeah.
of horror movies,
sure.
incompetence is the driving factor.
Yes.
I think
Yeah.
that's probably the genre where it's most impactful.
I have no problem with it being the thing that gets the plot rolling. What I have a problem with is like continually making the worst decisions. Kind of like tonight's movie, where it's like at multiple times, it's like just get the fuck out of the house,
just
go to
go
a
to the
hotel,
hotel.
Yeah.
wait for a goddamn exterminator, or
Yeah.
just set the fucking place on fire because at this point it's a goddamn murder rat.
Yep.
So
And I remember being mad at Prometheus for dudes just running around without their helmets on, breathing in alien bullshit. But then I saw Alien Covenant, where they just land on a planet they haven't even bothered to scan and take off their helmets and are just like, this is great. And they just breathe in all the shit that murders them. I'm just like, you people are fucking stupid. And I yelled at that movie for 20 straight minutes, and then I lost all interest because they were so incompetent. It was the only way to get the movie rolling, but no one in their position would have done that. Nobody.
Yeah.
So,
And I think the best movies the best stupid decisions, so to speak, come from characters that think they're making the right decision because they don't have the information that the viewer has.
Yeah.
The viewer knows, oh no, you can't open that door; it'll let blah 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 out. But the character goes, well,
yeah.
what's back there? Like you think about like Evil Dead remake. There's a book that's bound with barbed wire around it that's like, do not open, this will kill you.
Right.
And the guy's like,
Let's check this out.
well, we'll see about that.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, yeah, you're fucking dead now.
do
Good job.
not read the Latin.
Yeah.
Drawing a line in the fucking sand.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, the human flesh book
Yeah.
wrapped in barbed wire, written in blood. Yeah, might as well read what it says in there, right?
Yeah. That's why I always kind of point to that movie Executive Decision, the Kurt Russell, Steven Seagal movie, in that a lot of shit goes wrong in that movie, but not because of any one's bad decision. It is unexpected consequences of someone trying to do the right thing, trying to do the thing they think is going to work. Like none of the stakes keep raising in that movie, and none of it happens because someone on the team is an idiot. They haven't like brought on the one guy who's a coke addict and he's a last-minute replacement for Johnson who got sick, and so they had no choice but to bring in the bomb expert who's a fucking mental patient. Like, that's not the case at all. They're all extremely competent at what they're doing. It's just that the situation is so out of control that, you know, it just keeps getting away from them because it is a crazy fluid situation. That's why I always point to that movie, because it's not stupid behavior that moves the plot. It's unexpected consequences. And that's the best kind of movie, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Die Hard. Like,
Yeah.
that was just some dudes were going to do some bad shit. He was in the wrong place at the right time, or the right place at the wrong time.
Yep.
You know, but yeah. That's what I mean. That's why it's a fucking great movie. It's like, so you could your story should be circumstantial, not like your main character should not be the catalyst for why thing happens, really, unless it's a redemption story, you know, and then it's like, you know, correcting your own hubris kind of thing, you know.
And the thing that always impresses me about Die Hard every time I go back and watch it is that the little things that you think you don't remember and then explain the stupid parts, like why he's barefoot and stuff like that. Everyone he kills, he tries on their shoes, and they don't fit.
Yes.
And he rummages through.
He even says, like, why do all these Germans or terrorists have tiny feet?
Yeah. So he keeps trying to get shoes. That's not the issue. And he also rummages through every person he kills to get whatever they've got, and he uses it somehow. Like movies, I don't understand how that genre got it right on its first entry, and then everything that came after it was just fucking dumb.
Yeah, watching people pick up guns and then just throw them away once they've emptied the clip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They just missed the point. They only caught the big shit. The Martian. The whole like premise of that movie is somebody making the smart decision, which turns out to not necessarily be the best decision that could have been made. If different decisions had been made, things would be fine. But they made the smart decision based on the information that they had at the time to do the most good for the most people. You know, in that bad situation. And I was like, as I was watching that, I was like, yes, you're making the right decision. You have done the thing that you should do. You're not doing the stupid movie thing where somebody gets all fucking brave and, you know, throws away everything else for a chance to do one small thing. Like, you're doing the right thing in that situation. And it turns out some bad shit happens because of it. But in that moment, you've done the best you can, and I really appreciate that.
Along the lines of that, if everyone's going to make the dumb decision, quote unquote, you know, as far as your own personal safety is involved, like make the heroic sacrifice thing, I fucking love scenes where it's like they go around, it's like anybody that's not in, speak up, and then, you know, everybody steps forward like I'm in, you know, like that. Fuck yes, I love that shit. Like
that's always a really fucking feel good.
Well,
moment.
it's the you know, the Rock and Vin Diesel, you know, like we're on the same team until we take down this fucker. It's like those kind of moments where it's like, yeah, fuck all our other past differences. We're gonna do the shit.
Yeah.
Love that shit.
Well, there's that moment in The Martian later. Yeah, perfect.
I love the movie Hard 8. I know people want to call it Sydney, but that's not the name of the movie. But there is a thing that happens in the second act that kicks off the events of the third act that couldn't happen without this thing that happens in the second act. It's a decision that Gwyneth Paltrow makes. And it is the stupidest fucking thing that could have possibly happened in that movie. Like, she makes a decision that makes no fucking sense, except that it was the only way to get the third act rolling. And it infuriates me every time it happens because it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Like she's a hooker, right? And she gets married to John C. Reilly. And then, like, that night, she's like, I'm going to go hooking. And that sets off... It's like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, that was... No, you got married to not do that anymore. Why 6 hours later are you in this situation? That doesn't make any sense. And the movie's just like, well, this is what we had to do. And it's like...
Man. Hooker's got a hook.
Yeah, well, you think about, like...
she's hooked on it.
Yeah. Like, I think about that. There's a lot of comedies where that happens. Like, the movie Neighbors, I remember, like, they resolve the conflict halfway through that movie.
And then suddenly it just,
and then suddenly they're like, nope, we got to find a way to restart
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
you know, to keep the movie going. I think Step Brothers, to an extent, does that as well, where it's just like, yeah, we kind of figured everything out, and then, nope, nah, let's just keep this ball rolling for a while. You know, it's
Step Brothers goes in a direction that was real good.
yeah, I know, like that one pays off.
Yeah.
but you know, whereas Neighbors is just like, all right, here's more shenanigans.
Yeah.
You know,
Or somebody like that thing where somebody gets back on their bullshit for no fucking reason.
Oh, the
I
Bad
fucking
News
hate
Bears movies are fucking great at that because it's a bunch of little shitty kids who suck at baseball. Then they learn how to play baseball and they win.
they forget.
And then the next one, they're like, "Oh my god, we suck. We don't know how to play baseball." It's like, the fuck.
Yeah.
You figured it out in the last movie.
Well, how many Mighty Ducks movies did they make? Weren't they the same kids?
Yeah, I
Whack.
believe so. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I know the stakes kept going up until eventually, like, weren't they playing in the fucking Olympics or
Yeah, I
some
believe
shit?
they were. Yeah,
Probably.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of the Mighty Ducks movies.
Oh,
Probably should.
It's been a while.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think the best stupid decisions come from the way the character's developed. You know, like think about Avengers Infinity War. There's a character who makes a really stupid decision that fucks everything up, but it is totally in line with what that character would do.
Yes.
He's a,
And it's totally one of those subjective situations where, from the outside, it's the dumbest possible thing you can do.
Yeah.
Sure.
But
Yep.
But in that
For that
character's
guy?
experience, it's like
Yeah.
I have to do this.
But you empathize with somebody. If somebody, I don't generally. I mean, they are if you look at it completely logically. But an emotional decision is not necessarily a dumb decision. It's spur of the moment. You know, like put yourself in their shoes and be like, yeah, I could see why you might lose control and make a bad decision at that point in time. Those I feel are acceptable. But I think specifically what they were talking about was kind of like the Fratellis. You know, like
Yeah.
that like, oh, but parents or kids, adults are stupid and they can't outwit it as kids. We're so much smarter. And that's just purely pitching to your audience there. You know, like, yep, kids think the parents are dumb. And so if we make a whole movie about that, they're going to like that.
Yeah.
Guys.
guys, I think if you set up that emotional decision properly, then it's no problem. A lot of the time, it's not set up. You know,
Yeah.
they just throw it out there like, "Oh, it's just a brash decision. I'm a crazy guy. I do a
or
crazy thing
or
right
that
now."
shit was in the script and then it just got taken out. And
right.
you know, I again, I don't want to keep pointing back to the Predator, but like I know Shane Black is a good enough screenwriter that a lot of that shit made sense. And then when you took out the context for it, by the time it shows up, it's like, wait, the fuck?
Yeah.
You know, where like there's just little things like in Nice Guys, like
Yeah.
he literally had they mentioned how his ex-wife was British, only because they weren't quite sure if the daughter who
Yeah.
played it was British,
Yeah, Andrea Rice.
if she would have an accent or not.
Yep.
So like little things like that just get thrown in because it's like, all right, let's have a justification for that. Like,
Yeah, if she slips out of accent, let's have a reason why.
yeah,
You know.
like just little things like that. So it's like I know that didn't get fucked up, but like there's so many screenwriters that their script was like, all right, this builds on this, and this
Right.
point leads to this, and then like when you take one of those things out, suddenly it feels like that came out of nowhere. You know, just like what like tonight's movie, like him almost hooking up with the secretary is like that came out of nowhere. Yeah, I'm sure there was stuff in the script where it was like, oh yeah, they got flirty after this or whatever. You know, they're working late one night and something happened. You know, like that
they
sort of
dropped-
stuff is in there.
Yeah, they dropped the barest hint of it in the
Yeah.
actual movie because there's like
Well, he's kind
The
of
way
touchy.
she-
like
Oh,
he's
when
like,
he pulls the thread off.
well, he's
when
like,
he pulls
you know,
the thread
compliments
and the
her,
way
yeah.
that she like is talking to him.
Yeah.
They
But they're also talking
There's a
like
little-
80s coworkers. Like
Yeah.
everyone was just weird and flirty.
there's just a
and,
touch of it.
Yeah.
But you can tell that that if they had intended to do it at all, it got cut for some reason.
Yeah.
Because they probably needed more business talk time.
Yeah. So who knows how many? Yeah. Who knows how many movies seem stupid that the script, you know, the guy who wrote the script is like, no, fuck you. This is because of this, and they cut that out, so you never knew about that.
Screenwriters should be able to come out and do a Q&A after a movie.
They
comes
really
out.
should,
Like,
yeah.
No, this is not my fault.
This got cut.
Look, it's right here. It's
Here's the explanation.
here's the big red X through all of it.
yeah.
My favorite parts of the movie are the 30 or 40 minutes that got cut.
Ooh, sick burn.
No, I just,
I don't.
did you see that interview?
Yeah,
Anybody, that
that's-
was so good.
Well, I didn't watch the interview. I just heard the sound bite.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know if that answers your question, but
Probably. I
There you
hope
go.
so. You sure
We
got an
talked
answer.
20
lot,
minutes
yeah.
on it,
Yep.
so. You got your money's worth, pal.
yep. You know what else they can do if they want to get their money's worth?
Donate to Patreon.
Yeah.
Patreon.com/BMFcast. That was the right one, wasn't it?
It was.
Yes, I nailed it.
But if they can't donate,
Right.
they can do something just as good.
They
a
can
friend.
tell a friend. they can visit us on iTunes and leave a review.
Yeah. Spread the word in any way. If you have friends, tell them about us if you think they might enjoy us, or write reviews places.
Yeah.
Share us.
If you have
on
the
social
massive,
media.
if you have the massive Twitter following that none of us have,
Right. Are you on Twitter? We are at BMFcast.
Yeah.
Are you on Facebook? We are BMFcast, Bad Movie Fiends Podcast. You can spread the word about us, and it will help us, almost as if you had handed us hot, hard cash.
Yeah.
yeah, and you can watch us on YouTube live
You
streams every episode.
Yep. Usually Wednesdays. Usually 9:30.
Yep,
Correct.
Eastern.
youtube.com/BMFcast. And lastly,
But not leastly,
if they want to get in touch with us,
BMF at BMFcast.com.
yes,
Or
or
The long dormant.
the Garfield phone, 910-5JOCKS-BMF, 910-556-9263. Garfield has been lonely as fuck for a while, so somebody give us a call.
we did have a call, but it was from the guy who wrote us about pooping on a train. so we didn't play that voicemail. But
Oh, why didn't we?
I just forgot about it. It was so long ago.
Oh.
But yeah.
On a
And
train.
besides, I wanted to tell the poop story more. So
Okay, so it's the same story, just we got it in Mackie
kinda.
voice. Okay. Well, I'll go back and listen to it. But
yeah.
give us a ring. Let us know what's on your mind. Call us from the road, or call us from a transatlantic shipping vessel in your merchant marine life, or whatever the fuck is going
Yes,
on.
please call us on your sat phone and use up those precious minutes.
Hey, it's only like $400 a minute.
Yeah, that's all.
Yes.
I don't know, or record an MP3, and send it to BMF at BMFcast.com.
Yeah, send it over the shortwave.
Beep,
Right.
beep, 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 beep. Or visit us at BMFcast.com, just the regular old website, and see how we're doing, and check out all our links and shit.
Yeah, sign our guest book.
Make that little counter at the bottom tick up one.
Yeah.
Right. Scroll all the way to the bottom for the web ring,
The web ring.
the bad movie web
The
ring.
we bring
Web
we bring everybody together.
web ring. We bring everyone.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's get out of here, shall we?
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ,
I'm Chuck.
and this is BMFcast out. We will see you next time
On the We Bring.
on the Wee Bring.
I feel like we need another Patreon bumper for the beginning. Did anybody come up with any lately?
We have 6.
Did we?
Mackie and I each have 1. BJ has 4 of increasing
Arlo doesn't have any.
filthiness.
I have none.
I'm top contributor here, so my work is done.
I don't think I have any.
You don't.
I did the.
You
I
had
did-
an episode specific
Yeah,
one.
I had the Thor one, but that was it.
Yeah.
Verily.
We'll think about it.
Yeah.
Like I said, we got 6.
Okay.
I can't believe I'm top contributor to Patreon things.
I'm not topping my first one, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do about
I'm amazed we did not burst out laughing when you said that.
Put your money tongues.
You're in our wallet
butthole.
Really?
Do you want to be one of the cool kids? If so, put your money tongues.
We were talking about eating ass, and it just
It's
We were,
2018.
yes. We're talking
it
about
just-
eating ass.
It's 2018. Everybody does it.
yeah.
Yeah, man.
So, when you get done doing it, put your money tongues in our
Wallet.
Patreon butthole.
Wallet buttholes, I believe it was.
Has to be in terms of service violation.
Probably.
Yeah.
Nah,
Like a warm
no, it's fine.
washcloth in your wallet.
Nice.
Hot ham wallet.
Damn right.
All right.
All
Well,
right.
thanks everybody, live stream folks, for joining us tonight. We appreciate you being here because you are so sexy.
Pokemon.
You so fucking precious when you subscribe.
Skibidi-bop-bop-bop.
Bye. Shutting it down.